Good evening, everyone. I'm Geraldine and welcome to Gendera. This is a bit of a random live chat tonight because down on Boddington Farm usually go live on Saturday nights and they were unable to tonight. So I thought I'd pop on and give everyone the opportunity to come in and chat if they wanted to. But I wanted to show you a couple of videos that both I've put out and also some that Silhoette Park have put out this week. So this is a bit of a shout out, for want of a better word, for one of my other aquaponics videos.
All the time. What is aquaponics? Aquaponics is a symbiotic ecosystem of fish, who are not eating at the moment, working together with worms and bacteria in the garden beds. And the garden beds are made up of gravel or some sort of other growing media. So they don't grow in dirt, they grow in a media of some sort. Mine is the hydrogen clay balls and 3/4 inch drainage gravel at the bottom of the beds. So that's the 3/4 inch drainage gravel. I've got more videos on all that, but it's an ecosystem where you use nature to actually grow better and bigger plants. I've got a whole playlist on aquaponics basics. So check it out and like and subscribe to the channel and see how you too can grow huge basil and celery. Okay, let's check on the fish. Oh yeah, they're hungry.
That was before I put the food in.
I didn't put food in yet. Can you see them? I hope you can see them. Oh, good gracious. Splish splash. I'm taking a bath in fish water. It's a bit of a warm day today. Hence the reason why the fish are so feisty. That's the best place to be able to see them is over that side. Well, that didn't work. I had that holding up the side to make it so that I didn't have to have 5 hands. Anyway, that's the fishies. Have a great one.
Okay, now this is a video that Silhoette Park Farm just put out yesterday. It's so exciting.
We have a new addition. Patches had her baby last night, or yesterday afternoon, I should say, while we were out there picking up Xander from school. Hey, Patches. How's your baby? She's having a big snooze. Thank you. You should see her precious little face. Oops, sorry, girl. Sorry,
Oh, isn't she gorgeous?
Oh, big stretch. So everybody moved Zaza. Archer named her. She was born yesterday afternoon.
Hi, Nettie. Welcome in. You're sharing your little lamb video. She's so cute.
Hey, Zaza. Hey, Zaza. Hey, Patches.
Oh, she's so cute. Gotta share it.
I don't want to annoy you, sweetie. Good girl. You waited till after all the rain. Hmm?
You timed it well, Nettie. She timed it really well. Oh, yeah. That ram knows what's going on, doesn't he?
Nettie, what do you have there?
I'm just showing off our new little lamb.
What? So we got rain. Now the wind's going to pick up. So we got rain, and we've got a new lamb on the deck.
Yeah,
Water.
did well.
Water in the dam, water in the creek,
At least she waited, didn't she?
and a new little lammy. Check that out.
She's just had a feed.
Just had a big feed. Hello, Mama.
Yeah,
How you going, darling? She's a bit set off.
The rain is lovely, but it has caused a few challenges with slowing a few things down, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah,
a tiny lamb.
Oh, very tiny, but that's normal for Patches. Like Patches always puts out the one little lamb. So, yeah, typical daytime birth. Yesterday afternoon.
Everything was pretty normal for her.
Everything normal. She did everything. I think in one of our videos we said we're watching her because she had separated from the herd.
Yep.
She was stamping her feet. She was doing all the things that Patches does. Yeah, perfect.
It's so good to know your sheep, isn't it?
We're
Get
waiting
nice
for
and sheer.
Yeah, we were waiting for the rain. We were going to book him in the start of March, but
we were hoping that she was going to drop a lamb as well, so we could get that done. So
yeah,
such good timing.
fantastic.
Excited! It's a new lamb on the deck.
Yeah.
There we go.
That's so good. So cute. So cute. But anyway, if you want to watch the rest of Nettie's video, jump over to Silhoette Park Farm's channel, and they've got some really cool stuff. I really love Nettie's most recent videos where they're going through and having a look at the dam. It's so exciting. She's got so many frogs. They're everywhere. Yes, the rain was perfect, but it definitely changed all plans. I think it probably changed everyone's plans. The rain is just brilliant. So yes, the next video I wanted to show.
Morning, everyone. So I have a little helper helping me with milking this morning.
So this video, I'm basically showing this because one of the things I really love to do is actually share my animals with people and share the experience of having goats and having chickens and having aquaponics. I love being able to share that lifestyle with people and that experience. So in this video, Jonathan loves to help with the goats and loves to help with everything. So in this one, I actually found a way to help make it so that he could help me milk. And my goats are just so patient. They're just absolutely wonderful. So have a watch of this.
He asked if he could help. So he's going to be helping me with milking if I can get my Bella to keep her leg out of the road. So this is my Bella. So I'm going to hold the top. To make sure the milk doesn't go back up into my Bella's udders. Jonathan loves helping. And my goats are so patient.
The goats they are absolutely wonderful. Generally, when I show somebody how to milk, I actually let them milk completely. And what really helps is if I actually get a balloon or something like that and show them how to milk with the balloon, just so that it helps them to understand how the process works. But Jonathan loves to help, but he doesn't quite have the strength in his fingers to squeeze it out. So I've got to pinch it up at the top to make it so that he doesn't have the milk go the wrong direction. But all three of my girls are absolutely fantastic with having random people milk them. They're very good. And Jonathan loves helping.
Yeah.
I mean, look at that. Not a single move from my Bella. You wouldn't even know that there was a problem.
You have
Almost finished.
Not sure. Oh, Jonathan was saying it was almost finished.
Yeah.
So if anyone would like to come up and join me, you're more than welcome.
Encourage them to enjoy doing it, even when they can't quite do it properly.
I was basically popping on tonight just to give everyone an opportunity to catch up and chat, since down on Boddington Farm weren't able to hop on live tonight.
How?
Eventually.
So my style is a little bit different from theirs. They focus a lot on prepping.
Have a good one. Thank you.
I focus a lot on goats. um, so yeah, it's good fun. Good fun. Having the kids involved is really, really good. I really like to encourage the kids to get involved as much as I possibly can. So yeah, I totally agree with you there, Nettie. It's so important, and there's a lot of jobs where kids can't help, they can't do things. But in a homesteading environment, there's lots of things they can do. They can help with the chickens. Jonathan loves collecting the eggs. It's one of his all-time favorite things to do is help me collect the eggs. And he likes pouring the food into the containers, although more of it ends up on the floor than in the container. But as he grows up and gets bigger, he will get better at that sort of thing. So I need to remember that and learn to be patient and trust that it's all going to work out. And as he gets bigger, he'll get better. So yeah, I'm a big fan of encouraging kids to help out. So yes, let's see. Oh, I can show you some of the other things that I've been uploading this week. I've probably had a bit of a busy week, and I apologise if I've bombarded anyone with videos. So tonight I did a premiere and Silhoette Park and Knierim. I'm sorry if I pronounced that wrong. They came in and joined me for my live, as well as Tyler. That was much appreciated. Yeah, you think even just being outside a lot is good. And I agree wholeheartedly, Nettie. I think it's great for both the kids and for us. Just being outside in the fresh air and the sunshine, all that extra vitamin D that you get, just being outside in the fresher air is so good for your mental well-being. It just helps to uplift everything. I know if I'm inside and feeling absolutely disgusting, then when I go outside, if the fact that I have to push myself to go out and do the chores, I have to look after the goats, I have to look after the chickens. By the time I come in, I'm feeling a lot better. I may not be feeling fantastic and I might be physically tired, but I feel a lot better after being outside. I think of getting animals, so I'm learning from you all. I'm glad. I hope I can inspire you, Knierim. There's one thing I do well, it's do things badly. I'm a firm believer in failing forward. So you just try it out and test it out and see what works and what doesn't work, and just, yeah. I have done a lot of learning. I'm a big fan of Joel Salatin's book, You Can Farm, as well as his Pastured Poultry Profits and a heap of his other books. They're just absolutely fantastic. And Joel Salatin's book, Folks, This Ain't Normal, is really good. Okay, now, okay, how do I... Knierim? Is that right? Knierim? Knierim. You're welcome to come up and tell me how to pronounce it. You would think I would be really good at pronouncing unusual names, given I have one. But yeah. Nettie's got no problem. That's why I make sure I click on the notification bell so I know when you go live. Nettie, you are amazing at supporting the YouTube community when they go live. You are always right there and always supporting and encouraging everyone. It's just lovely. Oh, Nettie, that's a fantastic question. What kind of animals are you thinking of? It was good. Knierim, was that it? I hope I got that right. I like to be able to get people's names right because a name is important. I know they say what's in a rose, what's in a name a rose would smell just as sweet. I actually disagree with that. I think a name is very important. So what kind of animals are you thinking of getting, Knierim? You got any idea? there anything I can specifically do to inspire you? Do you want to have a look at chickens or goats or fish or sheep? Nettie's got the sheep. Sheep are lovely. I've had sheep before. They were fun. So what else has been happening this week? So whilst I was doing the premiere, I had Tyler and Nettie both tell me that the moon was amazing. So I went out and had a look at the moon quickly. And I've been trying to get a video of the Jade Perch all week. And do you think the Jade Perch would play the game? Every time I tried to catch them on film, the cheeky little things would do nothing. They would just completely disappear. Because Billy from the Wickershire Project actually asked me to show him what was happening with Jade Perch. He's been very persistent. So I did actually finally get the Jade Perch on a feeding frenzy. So I was really excited about that. So check that one out. Okay. Oh, your father-in-law has cows and you're thinking of chickens and goats to start. And you have deer and everything else running wild out here. Oh, wow. That'd be really interesting. Yes, cows are good fun. I had miniature cows once before. So, and the previous owner of our property still got one of their cows here. So it was supposed to go before the rain started, but the rain started, so the cow's still here. Long story. And our ground gets really boggy when it gets wet. So Nettie, you're always busy doing stuff while on lives, but you try to chat and share. Nettie, you do a fantastic job and it's really appreciated. Really, really appreciated. A rose by any other name would still smell as sweet, yes, but it may not feel as beautiful. And I think if you called it a stinking nettle, it probably, or a stinging nettle, or a stinking Roger, people would be less likely to smell it. Start with chickens. Yeah, chickens are definitely a good place to start. That was your first homestead type animal, and you already had horses. Then the goat got the goats, and your goats are all boys, aren't they? Yeah. Yeah, I started with chickens, just in an urban homestead situation. So I had my chickens there, I had my girls, and then we set up the aquaponics system. Then after that, when we moved to acreage, when we bought the property, actually already had ducks. So that kind of went into that one. And then, somebody had actually bought some goats off the previous owner of that property and they were bringing the goat back. So and we were thinking we wanted to get goats eventually anyway. So we thought, yeah, why not? So we grabbed that goat. And then the goat addiction started. Be very careful with goats because once you get one, it's never enough. You end up getting more. I think at one point there I had 20. Oh my goodness, there were a lot of goats. See, at one point on my 3.5 acre property at Eagleby, I had 6 miniature cows, 10 Dorper Dharma sheep, and about 20 goats. And that was just before the drought started. So I ended up decreasing my herd and my flock and my herd and everything very rapidly. We have a lot of silly sayings, don't we, Nettie? So you rescued the goats as newborns, and you were heavily pregnant. You felt sorry for them. That's so sweet. You're so caring, Nettie. It's lovely. The goats are adorable. They're a handful. They are a challenge. Fencing is a suggestion when you're talking with goats. They've got to be trained from a really young age to respect fences. Because if they learn to start jumping at a young age, then it makes it a lot harder. So they've got to, it's a bit like the old saying that you have a baby elephant and you have a big metal chain on it to stop it from pulling. And then once it's an adult, you can have a tiny little rope on the elephant's foot and they'll never pull it away. So it's a really good idea to train the animals well to those fences at a very young age. Yes. So what else have we been up to this week? Oh, I did a garden tour. I've been putting this off all March between the rain. With all the rain, I've been putting it off. But I nearly ran out of March, so I had to do the garden tour. So again, trying to see the fish. And Matthew eating celery. Matthew and Jonathan love eating celery out of the aquaponics. Oh my goodness, Nettie. So you were bottle feeding 24 baby goats and you only kept 5 of them and rehomed the rest, all while you were pregnant. Are you serious? Oh my goodness, you are a superwoman. How did you do that? That is amazing. I couldn't do that, I don't think. Oh wow. That is full on. So the other thing I did this week was the Shed Wars collaboration had a gladiator challenge where we had to show our resourcefulness. So this was the video that I made for that. I've set up my new incubator, which I'm very unhappy with. I am not happy with this incubator at all. But I'll see how I go with hatching these eggs. But I don't think it's going to go well because that particular incubator looks like it's going to be incredibly difficult to clean. And I can't put eggs that are too big in it. Ah, welcome, Citizen Guardian. Oh, missed it. Oh, your battery's low. I was going to say, if you want to come up and join me, you're more than welcome to. Because it's always more fun having company up here and not being up on my own, trying to figure out what to talk about.
Good.
Oh,
Everyone.
well, that's new. Normally when I open a video up in a different page, it doesn't actually start. Oh, well, this video actually isn't public yet. So this is going to be a bit of a sneak preview of one that I've just done. So Billy from the Wikishare project, if anyone does want to come up and join me, I'll pop the link up. It's a shame that your battery's low, Citizen Guardian. It would have been lovely to have a chat. But if anyone wants to come up and join me, just click on the link. Viking survival game. So you're very supportive of this. Okay. I don't think I quite understand that. No, I think I could be just having a slow night tonight. I'm still not feeling well with the cold. You can probably hear it a little bit in my voice. But yeah, anyway, so it's all good, Nettie. It's okay. I'm pretty good. Read the comment above. Okay. My daughter is playing Valheim on your computer. Okay. And it's a Viking survival game. Okay. Now that makes more sense. Now I understand why I was not quite understanding. Anyway. Oh, man. I am a little bit slow tonight. I do apologize. It's probably not my best effort at going live. But I know how much everyone likes to chat and everything in the comments, and I didn't want everyone to miss out. So I was checking with Agent before I came on, and Nettie's got a really not Nettie. Oh my goodness, I am having one of those nights. Bibby has a really nasty headache, so that's really not fun at all. And from her Facebook post also, it looks like that she's lost someone quite close to her. I'm not quite sure who it was, but yeah, thoughts and prayers go out to you, Bibby. I hope everything settles down for you soon. And I would pray for you, but I know you don't believe in that sort of thing, so you have my thoughts and my well wishes. You're just having a shower, so you won't be able to comment for a bit. But we'll keep this running. Thanks, Nettie. Although it seems a bit funny not having hardly anybody watching. and sitting here chattering away with nothing. But anyway, Citizen Guardian, I really hope your battery doesn't go flat. You might join a little bit later. Not sure how long you're going to be on for. I'm not sure. It depends on who comes in. If not many people come in, then I might not worry about it, because the whole reason why I was hopping on was to actually give people an opportunity to chat if they wanted to, because everyone seems to really love the Saturday night chats. And it's always nice to catch up with everybody from around the place. So it's always nice to see Nettie, isn't it, Citizen Guardian? Nettie's lovely. You have to go and check out Nettie's video. I might actually show you one of Nettie's videos soon, but I've done this special video that I wanted to show everyone, and this is not actually a public video yet, so I've got a few more things to sort out with it, and I made this specifically for Billy from Wikishia Project. He loves aquaponics and is really excited about my Jade perch. So, and just getting to see them while they were feeding wasn't enough. And I have actually set up a GoFundMe if anybody wants to donate towards helping me get a GoPro, because I've only got my mobile phone to do videoing and I can't put my phone into the water because it'll die. It won't work. So for me to be able to record the fish in the water, I would need to have a waterproof camera. So hence the reason I've set up a GoFundMe page to help raise funds for a GoPro. I'll see if I can add the link. I don't think I can do it easily from where I am at the moment. I might be able to. No, that's not the link I want. I'll play this video so you can watch the video of the fish. So he suggested that I put a line in the water and catch a fish that way. They're a bit small for that.
Well, the Wikishia Project has asked to see more of the fish, so I have caught some in my net. That is my little Jade perch. I don't want to have them out of the water for too long. So there's lots in the net. There are actually 200 in the fish tank. So as you can see, the water is quite dark because the sun's actually gone down.
Good, Nettie.
Yeah.
You organise what you need to organise.
Very happy, excited little fishies.
Oh, Nettie, that would be awesome. Yeah, that would be fantastic. That'd be a good collaboration to do too.
There's lots of them in there.
That'd be an awesome collaboration. You could come over and video my fish and I'll teach you how to milk the goats.
I'm definitely not going to catch them with a fish. I'm not going to put a line in here to try and catch them. All I need is a net. And these guys in here will actually get much, much bigger. They will get to the size that'll fill a dinner plate. I've actually had some that have been barely big enough, like nearly not big enough. Correction. This net has not been big enough to hold them.
So, totally tongue-tied.
Perch. Have a great one. Bless you.
So yeah, we actually bought, I'll see if I can find the video. It shouldn't be that hard. It should be really easy to find actually. We bought the fish, I'm not sure exactly how long ago it was now. It wasn't that long ago. Let's see if I can find it. I've got lots of playlists for lots of different things. I think it is in the Aquaponics Basics actually. It's not that one though. So this is just a short version. So these are a little Jade perch. These are, I'll mute that. So let's see, when did we get those? So this was back on the 4th of February. So these were the Jade perch back on the 4th of February. They were so little. And to see how much they've grown, I'm really, really pleased at how well they've grown. They're doing really, really well. So I do have a whole huge, oh, not huge, actually, no, it is huge. It's like nearly an hour long video of when I actually released the fish. So I'll take it back to the beginning. It does have chapter marking. So that's how it goes through. So I've got all the chapter markings for this particular video, which I can't, sorry, I'm arguing with the computer now. Oh, okay, so So it goes through the unpacking instructions, opening up and letting in a tiny small amount. So you don't want to, when you release the fish, it is quite a slow process. It's not something that happens quickly, hence the reason why the video goes for over an hour. So you leave in a small amount of light, and you can see in here, these fish do not look well. They don't look happy at all. I was actually a little bit concerned when I got them, because this is the largest I've ever gotten fish. Usually when I get the Jade perch, I get them in September. But we had and I did get fish in September, but then at Christmas time we got really sick, and because of the system I had set up at the time, they ran out of water, ran out of air, and that's really bad for fish. That's a recipe for all your fish just died, and it was absolutely devastating. So I don't normally order fish this late in the season. So these fish were a lot bigger than I'm used to. So I wasn't expecting them to look as sedated and unhealthy as they were when we got them. But it didn't take very long. So they look like they're half dead. They really do. But it didn't take all that long. And this video goes through the full process. So what these fish are doing at the moment is actually showing signs of oxygen deprivation. So they just haven't had enough oxygen. But they're very much sedated in this state. And the people I got it from did warn me that this was the case. But over the last 8 years that I've been getting fish for, I've never had them look this bad before. So it was a bit of a, oh my gosh, are these fish gonna survive? But we kept adding a couple of litres of fish water to the boxes every 10 minutes or so, I think it was. I didn't record the entire process, so there were bits that I missed. But you can see even at this point, the fish are starting to look much, much better. Yeah, absolutely, Citizen Guardian. I think you can have 3 people on the side of the videos. I don't really have anything major that I wanted to chat about, so I'm just finding random stuff at the moment. Mostly because I can't think of what to do. And I'm hoping oh dear. It sounds really sad. I'm hoping someone will see the video live. Oh my goodness. Oh, yes. I mean, it's nearly 10:15 here, so it is starting to get a little bit late. So, welcome, Citizen Guardian.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm good, thank you. It's nice to have some company up here and not be here on my own.
No, that's perfect.
Me and
it's
my
actually
200.
no. Yeah, fish is just a topic that I enjoy quite a lot. Specifically, and obviously from the survivalist aspects, just to understand aquaponics a little bit more deeper and stuff as well. It's great to see you as well, and thank you for allowing me to just jump on. It's a very casual way for myself as well. My little family's, my wife is here as well. She might say hello every now and again.
Yeah, that'd be great.
And my little one is running up and down. My daughter's like up and down and busy at the moment as well. And I've been out for most of the day, so she's been like playing like the survival game and that type of thing. But yeah, so it's just something that I enjoy. And so if this is a very casual style of us being able to stream like this, I think it's comfortable and nice. So I like that.
Yeah, very much. I'm not real good on being prim and proper. It's just not something I do well. I don't do it well.
No, when I saw that you had a stream up and stuff as well, I think that the best and most awesome part of these live streams as well is the capability for people to just have conversations and keep things light sometimes and keep things very casual. And you do still have a professional way. And when you've supported me so much on my channel as well. So when I did see that you had a little live up, I'm very happy to join in.
Well, thank you for joining me. I do appreciate it.
No, it's great. You've got
a great channel. I love some of your videos. They're awesome.
Thank you. I've got a long way to go. I know that YouTube's like a marathon. It's not a sprint. So I know that it's like a long process. So I'll still keep doing those, and I've got some exciting things coming up in this year as well. I want to ask about these fish that we're looking at the moment as well. So with regards to mass production of fish as well, I'm just wondering, would you be able to do like a bug out survival fish farm type of scenario? Like, do you think that something like that would actually be possible?
I think it would depend on where you were bugging out to. Like if you had a permanent place where you were planning on bugging out to.
Yes.
I think the best thing in that situation would actually be to have a dam on the property and have the fish in there. And they would just be able to feed from the native animals that go into the water.
Yeah.
So that would be absolutely doable. I'm actually looking forward to in the future having it so that my dams, because we've got quite a large dam. Currently it's populated by turtles.
Nice. That's cute though.
It's cute, but you can't eat them. They're a protected species.
Yeah. So they're just kind of a trouble at the moment to a degree.
Yeah, they are, because like I couldn't put fish in there that are this size because the turtles would eat them. So
yeah,
I mean, and I can't put these particular fish in anyway because these are jade perch, and in my area I'm not allowed to put jade perch in there because these guys come from the Barcoo River system, not from the Lockyer Valley river systems. So I'm allowed to put silver perch in there, but not jade perch. They're still an Australian native, and they won't breed in the dam. So one thing you'd probably really want to look at if you were trying to do it from a bug out perspective is actually setting it up so that you had fish that were going to breed. Tilapia for one, in other countries, not in Australia, because it's illegal for us to have tilapia. It's illegal for us to have tilapia on our person, dead or alive. If we catch a tilapia, we have to put it in a bin. We are not allowed to be caught with a dead or alive tilapia.
So you think that is it because of how protected the species is?
Oh, tilapia are an introduced species in Australia, and when they get into the river systems, and they have gotten in, they take over the system and basically push out all the native fish. Yeah. So they would come in and they'd just eat the silver perch, they'd eat the jade perch, they'd eat all their food. So the native fish and the native ecosystem would be destroyed. So I can understand why the tilapia are illegal. It's just, oh, really? And it'd be a problem if you didn't know. But I think that's one thing that's really important, that whatever area you're going to, you find out what the regulations are in that area, what the biosecurity issues are. And I don't know if you have as many issues over there.
We do to a degree. The actual species which are very much native to the country are mostly only in reserves currently. We still have some wildlife, but that's such an enjoyable and such a wide topic as well, because we do have a plenty amount of species here that are still naturally occurring. Like we've got just going into like more of the direct fauna. So we've got like baboons, a large amount of baboons. We've got a large amount of different types of deer. But your actual like lions and rhinos and elephants, those you are only really in parks currently. Like you very seldomly will see them in the wilderness or anything like that.
Yeah, and with regards to, sorry, I'm just chipping in here.
No, go.
I feel like leaving something important out. So like we live very close to a river, like literally like.
There's 3 people watching. Say hello, yeah, quickly.
Hello.
Just
no, my
Okay.
But for example, we have a fish here. We call it a grunter. It is native to this area, and you're allowed to catch it. But because it's an estuary, so like as Jared mentioned, it's like all protected and stuff, you know, like in reserve. So you're only allowed to catch a certain amount of fish, and they have to be a certain size. So as to protect it, because over here the people will come and they'll come with prawn pumps. And they'll pump the prawn out to go fish with it, and then it actually decimates the local like ecosystem of the riverbanks.
Yep.
Everything's very much protected in order to keep the wildlife intact and the ecosystem flowing.
But obviously, as you can imagine, there are sometimes people that do go against that, that do, illegal fishing and illegal poaching does occur.
Yes, and we have a massive problem with people poaching our abalone.
Oh.
Sorry, just a phone call on this side here for a moment.
Yep, you're right. So while we're waiting for them to finish, just having a look at the fish, you can see how much they've actually recovered already. And this is about 30 minutes in to the video, at least anyway. So the fish they recovered really, really quickly. So I've got an aeration stone in here helping to aerate the water. Yeah, I'm glad you like it, Nettie. Me and the boys had so much fun when we were releasing these fish. I mean, if I was playing the sound for you, you'd be able to hear Jonathan going, "Oh, wow, look at that, look at that. It's so exciting." Well, actually, you can actually go and watch this video. This one's not actually, I'll pop a link to it off, try to. Oh my goodness. I'm so sad with technology sometimes. What am I doing? I've got no clue what I'm doing. I'm just going to minimize that because I know how to share it from there.
It's perfectly fine. You're definitely not the only one, Jadera. I just have struggles. Don't worry. I'm sure we all do.
The ridiculous part is I've got a double degree in IT and multimedia. I should be able to do this stuff so easy.
No, but the thing is, it's always evolving and changing. So, the new apps that are coming out and new programs and software, it's what we used to utilize 2 years ago already changes, till the point that it is now.
Oh, it's constant. It is absolutely constant, and I feel so bad. And I'm like, I should be able to do this. Why am I not being able to do this? It's silly, silly, silly. Oh, Nettie saying, "Hi, Citizen Guardian," and "Hi, wife."
Hey, I've really been trying to encourage I've also been on video. There we go. For a second. I'll be back there in a moment. I've also been
You're all good.
trying to convince the lady, my wife, to just be on a little bit of a stream and stuff, but she does get a bit shy. And the thing is, because of doing this for a little bit of a while, you definitely build up that it's just completely just a normal conversation, basically. Yes. But then she still gets a little bit "Oh, I don't want to be on the internet yet," and that type of thing. But anyway, explain more with what you're explaining here.
Oh, well, now I'm wondering what Nettie's saying. No, Adam just came online. I'm not quite sure what she means there. Oh, hang on. Oh, so okay, so Nettie said hello to you, Citizen Guardian, and Adam said hello to your wife. Now that I understand that. Okay, and
don't you guys want to jump on? Don't they just want to jump in as well? Or not
Nettie
at the moment?
Nettie's not happy with her computer, and she gets a bit worried about that sort of thing. Did you guys see that then? I'll go back a bit, because one of the fish up here tried to jump out. Actually, in my indexes, I've actually got indexes to where all the fish tried to jump out, because it was so funny watching them jump out. But I interrupted myself, sorry. Citizen Guardian, it's really interesting that your wife doesn't want to come online onto the videos, and I totally understand that. And Nettie would totally understand that as well, because I think it was years that Adam was actually doing the YouTube videos and trying to convince Nettie to come on. And now Nettie absolutely loves it. There is the jumping fish. Did you catch it? Did you see it?
Yes, I saw it at that time. That is awesome. Have they ever jumped out completely?
Pardon?
Have they ever jumped out completely, though?
These little ones didn't, but I have had adult fish do the whole suicidal thing and jump out of the fish tank, which is part of the reason why now I've got a shade cloth cover over the top of my system so that they can't jump out. I'm not quite sure why they do it. Oh, and this is my son, Jonathan. He's 4, and he loves to help.
That's really
just showing
cute.
I was showing another video earlier where he was helping me milk the goats.
Come here quickly, Scotty. Just give me a
He's an
moment.
absolutely adorable little thing, this one.
Group of people
I'll go
again.
back a bit.
They've
Oh,
got-
there was that fish hopping out again.
And did you see that?
No.
Did you see that? The fish tried to jump out.
No.
It was over that side. I'll have to see if I can find it in the video.
So Jandera, very rare thing that I'll do as well. She hasn't been on the stream yet in any way on my channel or anything relating to that. But come, just show your face here just for a second. Just come wave.
You've got a lovely voice.
Just come wave quickly. Just put your face just right over this area here. I don't know. You may have caught a glimpse.
I caught a
You don't
small
need to be
glimpse.
shy, I promise.
Aww.
So there's the mini citizen guardian. She's so
hello. Oh, she's beautiful. What time is it there?
it's now 2:30 in the afternoon.
Oh, okay.
So yeah,
So she's not quite tired.
no, she's just a little bit tired. She's just a little bit shy, not really tired.
Okay.
So
No, we
Well,
wish
she's
it was
absolutely
tired.
beautiful.
Every night with her is a fight to go to bed.
yeah, she doesn't like going to bed at bedtime. It's still something, but she's very good otherwise. She's an incredibly good kid, and I'm very proud of her. There is just that
She
challenge.
just has incredible energy.
Yeah, so
Well, you can't
definitely-
miss out on anything.
yeah, it's been really good because obviously it keeps me in shape. It's been great in that respect as well. So, hi, Wild Edibles. Oh, that's
Well,
awesome.
Adam's
Great.
in the house. Hello.
Lovely to
And
see
it
you
looks
here.
like Nettie's actually gotten back. She's come back on. So Adam's on a Silhouette Park Farm, if I understand correctly. And Nettie's back as her so that we don't get confused. So Adam is on the farm account and he said hello to me. He said, hello, wife. Oh, that's what we was. Oh, okay, now it makes sense. Well, you said hello to him. So we're talking to each other, which makes it confusing if they're both using Silhouette Park Farm. Yes, Nettie, it makes it make much more sense when you use your own account. And Wild, it is absolutely lovely to have you with us. Now, what else have I missed over here?
Sorry, I'll be like in and out because of the time of day it is. So like I'll be on camera for like a moment, and then I'll just like I'm also just busy helping out here at the same time as well.
All good. Thank you for joining me. Knierim has to go off and start his day. Have a great one. Thank you for joining us. So, Wild, how is your morning? Good morning. I hope you had a good night's sleep. Okay, now. Yes, Adam, you will. Now that you've got water again, you'll have to get fish to stop all the mosquitoes from breeding. But not the Jade perch. You'll have to get something that's... Is there a particular type of fish that you guys like to get for your dam? That's right, because Nettie said that you were away for the weekend. I have no idea when Ninjali is. Nindy Gully? Is it Nindy Gully? I'm hopeless at pronouncing names. You would think having an unusual name myself, I'd be better at pronouncing unusual names, but I'm not. Not at all. Oh, you get yellow belly, Nettie. Adam. See, now I've got myself confused. I'm so used to seeing Silhouette Park Farm that it's Nettie. I should realize it's not Nettie because there's no emoticons. I haven't had yellow belly before. I don't know that they do so well in the fish tank. Hey, Adam, would they get eaten by the turtles? I've got a huge amount of turtles in my dam. The previous owner used to collect them, I think. You're trying to put your other challenge video together, Wild. That's good. I'm glad you had a good night's sleep. Oh, I said it right. Excellent. Excellent. Adam must be bored. Well, I was thinking that.
Micro, do you want to jump on? Muddy
Muddy
Boots?
Boots is in the house. Do you want to join us, Muddy Boots? Is it
Come
Muddy
on.
Boots or is it? I'm getting quite confused with this whole who Muddy Boots is and who Micro Farmer was, because it was Micro Farmer to start off with, and then it was Muddy Boots. So is Micro Farmer Muddy Boots, or is it a different person?
I think
It is the same person?
Yes, it's the second channel. Definitely.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. I've been really puzzled over that, and I've been missing a few lives, so I missed the breakdown of the whole thing. I think Nettie's going to go check on the sheep. Oh, the lambs keep getting out. It's the one challenge with lambs and baby animals. They always get out. I find that all the time when I've got baby goats. Micro Farmer Nettie says hello. And Wild Edibles. Micro Farmer says hello.
Are you going to be joining us, Marco? Come on. I know you want to.
Come on, Micro. We'd love to have you join you. I haven't been on a live stream with you before, Micro. That would be cool. That would be very cool.
He always adds a lot to live streams as well, because he's a very charismatic person. So it's great to just have it's great to have that impact as well to any live stream. So it'd be awesome if you do join.
Absolutely.
If you can't at the moment, there's no pressure. I completely understand. It's absolutely fine. Yeah.
It would make it a truly multi-global stream.
Yeah.
Wild, you can always come up if you wanted to.
No, it is. It's really been nice as well with this season Shed Wars. It's been so awesome to get to know all the new people as well. A lot of the homesteaders, and it's just been an incredible experience. What I did though is I arrived late. I started with my Shed Wars journey. I actually only got introduced to it and joined the team in late November, December. So I hadn't done the proper prep and stuff. So definitely what I'll be doing for 2022 Shed Wars is I'll have a lot more planned and prepped and make sure that it's a lot more feasible. And I'll still upload an occasional gardening video. But I think Shed Wars is an amazing experience. I love it. I'm a big fan of Shed Wars.
Shed Wars has been absolutely amazing. And I think I actually joined in late November as well, actually. It may have even been... No, I joined just before you did, I think. It wasn't long before you did. So it has been a fantastic experience getting to know everybody.
It is, and such useful skills as well, amazing skills.
Mike the Caveman's awake. Wow. And by the looks of it, it's actually Mike the Caveman, not Wild Edibles. Oh, look at that. We got Baker Leg and Let's Dig It Homestead has joined us as well. Welcome. Now, if anyone would like to come up and join the stream, I'll leave the link. You're more than welcome to. Very casual chat at the moment. Now, if I missed anybody else, I have a feeling that I missed somebody. No, Micro Farmer, Wild Edibles. No, I think I'm all good. Oh, Wild did ask how are we all going. So I'm going reasonably well. I do still have a cold. It is improving greatly though, so that is really good. So how's everybody going at your place, Citizen Guardian?
Very well. Things are pretty positive. On the subject of fish as well, what I was going to bring up earlier is I was going to ask you if you are familiar with just normal pet keeping fish. I've got a black ghost knife, and very proud of it. I'll if somebody ever comes through the place, I'll always be show them the black ghost knife, because it's a fish that I've had for quite a long time, and they're such beautiful fish as well. It's quite a rare fish. Comes from the South American jungles and stuff as well. It's known as BGK, black ghost knife, and I'm very happy with that. I also have angels. I've kept quite a few angels before. And fish keeping in general is something that I enjoy quite a lot. On the same topic.
Oh, they are.
That's why I was so interested in it.
I used to have tropical fish when I was younger, pretty much before I got married. And before I had Matthew, he's 11. So it's been well over 12 years since I've had fish, inside the house. We've had the Jade Perch for 8 years now, which all that time I spent having the fish inside made it so that I was probably more prepared for having the Jade perch, so I had more of an understanding of what was going on.
Yeah, the pH levels and that type of thing as well. Like a lot of that you learn through fish keeping. Yeah.
Oh, I did miss a message that Adam put up earlier. So Silhouette Park Farm at the moment is Adam, not Nettie. You can tell because there's no emojis. And he was telling me that they put yellow belly in their dam earlier, and the yellow belly grow to well over 40 centimeters and are pretty good around turtles. Cool. Will they eat the turtle? It'd be nice if they'd eat the turtles. That's probably bad. I probably shouldn't want the turtles gone, should I? I'm just really concerned that oh, Jason Avers is in the house. Hello, Jason. Welcome. Now, if anybody does want to come up and join us, you are more than welcome. Just if I don't let you know, if I don't bring you up, just put a type a message in there saying I'm in the basement because I don't always see it. But Jason, it's lovely to see you. I always enjoy your videos. Jason does some amazing deep dives into information, especially permaculture and agroforestry related. I think you planted 8 trees the other day, wasn't it? Was it 8 trees?
Jason's definitely one of the most knowledgeable people that you'll come across as well. Like when it comes to things, he's so wise that he just like sits back and just like if anything comes up that's relevant, he'll always have like accurate information as well, and he'll always be able to have like decent input. And he's got such like it's really nice seeing down to earth people that are so like knowledgeable that they don't even need, you can see that he's not like trying to put on a show or trying to impress anybody or anything. He just wants to be himself, and big fan of Jason.
Jason's great because he's just got so much knowledge, like you were saying, and he just loves to share that information. It's fantastic. And he shares it in a down-to-earth manner that doesn't make you feel like an idiot for not knowing it.
Exactly. It seems like the first few times that I saw Jason, the first times, let me actually speak to you and address you directly for a moment. The first few times that I saw you on stream, like it is actually so weird because you've got this natural feeling of like just that you've known you for a long time. Like you just feel comfortable around you as well. And I think that that's something that we're lacking a lot in the modern world. So it's really awesome to see that. I've got a lot of respect and time for you, Jason. If you feel free to join us as well. I don't know if other people feel like joining at the moment. No pressure. It is definitely a more relaxed stream, but it's just nice to be able to chat and see what you're up to as well, Jandera.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it's good fun. So it looks like Jason was nosing around looking for a eucalyptus tree this morning that he can grow in his area. And he found one. That's really cool. And he spotted Mel. Oh, now he's blushing. I guess you'd call that what oh shucks is. Jason, you are really good and we really appreciate you. You're a valued member of the Shed Wars community and the YouTube community in general.
Be right back for a moment.
Yep, you're right. So how are you going, Baker Leg and Let's Dig It Homestead? Mel, it's lovely to see you. Thank you for joining me. It's so lovely to see everyone in here. And if anyone would like to come up and join me for the live stream, I'm more than happy for people to join me. I was basically just jumping online randomly because down on Boddington Farm weren't able to do their live stream tonight because Nettie's not well. So I'm just showing a video where I released all the fish into the aquaponics. So yeah, this one is actually where we got the fish and I've just put them into the fish tank at this stage by the looks of it. Might take it back to where the baby fish are because it's much more interesting. They look like they're dying here. It's not pretty, but they do really well. By the time you get to this part of the video, they're doing fantastic. And I go through showing how I've actually done it and everything. So I've got a bit of a focus of aquaponics on the homestead. So you've probably noticed that with all the videos I've been uploading lately. And Wikishare Project, Billy asked me specifically to actually do some videos on the Jade Perch. So you're just having coffee and doing your big garden reveal today. So you're nervous. And what a project that's been. You're so sore. I can imagine you would be. I'm looking forward to seeing it now. That's exciting. A big garden reveal. Is this part of the Innovation for Spring challenge for the Shed Wars stuff? that you've done with the garden, or is it just part of what you're doing with the garden? The one challenge with being on a live stream too, when people are just chatting in the comments, because you've got to wait for them to actually type out the answers. No, I didn't say, don't think I said Nettie's unwell. Did I say Nettie's unwell? No. Oh, I might have. I meant Bibby. Bibby's not well. Bibby's got a nasty headache. So that's why they're not doing their live tonight. Sorry, Nettie, if I got Bibby and Nettie mixed up. Oh, it's been a long day. So yes and no, it's part of the garden, the spring innovation. Ooh, intriguing. Now I've really got to come and have a look, Baker Leg. Do we actually have any mods in here at the moment? How bad is that? I should know if I've got mods. Yes, I meant Bibby. I definitely meant Bibby. Bibby's the one that's not well, because Bibby and Agent down on Boddington Farm usually go live on Saturday nights. Silhouette Park Farm go live on Tuesday nights. I'm having one of those days. I've forgotten what I was looking for. I'm shocking at the moment. Oh, I remembered. I was looking to see if I actually have any mods in here at the moment. How bad is that? I should know. But I don't have my, what do you call it? I don't have my YouTube running. So I've only got the StreamYard up. So it makes it a little bit challenging to see who my mods are. I don't think I've got any mods at the moment. Adam is currently my mod. Nettie, if you'd like to mod, I would love for you to do that. It would be awesome. Since you're usually on Silhouette Park Farm. Yes, I've got Adam as my only mod at the moment. Oh, what did I miss while I was wandering around? Oh, it's your best innovation. I'm really looking forward to that now, Mel. So you got to go check it out, Baker Leg and Let's Dig It. Their channel is really, they've got some interesting stuff happening. I'll see if I can find the link for their channel. It's always interesting. And of course, I don't have my cheat sheet up and running either at the moment, which also makes everything interesting. Oh, Wild Edibles is in here, isn't she? Where's Wild hiding? Wild's gone really quiet. Wild, would you like to be a mod for me? Oh, I've got Mike the Caveman as a moderator. So I've got Mike the Caveman and Adam as my moderators currently. This makes life interesting. You're a lazy moderator. Are you, Jason? You're too busy doing everything else, planting trees. You don't have the energy to be a excited moderator. Thank you, Nettie. I didn't get very far in getting that. Nettie is a fantastic moderator. She does a fantastic job. So is Wild Edibles. And Mike's just smiling. What other link do I need you to get? You can just pop up channel links if you want to, Nettie. Whatever you'd like to put up. I don't really. I'm good. You keep Citizen Guardian. It's all good. I don't mind if you keep vanishing.
I know it's more of a relaxed stream as well, but I just, because obviously that's I'll tell you the story a little bit later. Like I'll get to that.
Okay, so Mel just made it to 560 on the 4th time. Oh, for subs. Yes. So Mel's at 559 at the moment. So if you haven't subscribed to Mel, go over and check out her channel. I think you're a bit up on me there, Mel. I think I'm around 537 at the moment, which I am absolutely stoked with. I was only at 150 in December. Oh,
Yeah, something that's quite important that a lot of people, quite a large amount of people miss, and they're like are concerned about to a degree. So what happens with YouTube a lot of the time is, because I've looked into it for myself as well, and what will happen is that you do start to you'll see that if you're watching your sub count specifically as like a starter channel, you are supposed to pay a little bit more attention to your subscriber base and that type of thing, because it's just natural that you do that. But what happens is that if somebody subscribes and then they subscribe because they, for example, liked your content, and then they haven't subscribed for a month or two, well, I haven't looked at a video of yours for the last month or two, and sometimes YouTube will unsubscribe them automatically because they don't stick. So it's something that I've also paid quite a lot of attention to. So when it does come to making the channel, I know for a fact that it's just slowed down on my side heavily at the moment. There's a lot of work that's impacting my routine as usual, and there's a lot of things that have been coming up, and it's just, it definitely will happen over time, with sub counts, but I don't think that you should ever really be focusing as much as possible on sub counts, because then you start to lose the reason why you were making videos in the beginning. It should always be entertaining for yourself, and it should always be something that you just have fun with. At the end of the day, if you're enjoying it, that's why right now, if I had to force to make a video, if I feel too compelled to make a video and release it instantly, then it will feel rushed, and it just won't feel like something that I enjoy having on my channel either. It's weird.
I mean, that's important as well, because it's important to have your style. And if you're not in the space to be creating something, then don't be creating something. So so Lakeside Homestead with Dave and Karen, welcome. So they're in Ontario, Canada. Better late than never. Now I'll put the link down if anyone would like to join the stream again. And if you're down in the basement and I haven't added you, make sure you let me know. Now I did miss a few comments down here. I don't know if there's a specific how many you need to do. I think over time, though, like Citizen Guardian was saying, if you haven't watched a video for months and months and months from a channel, then it makes sense that YouTube's going to unsubscribe you because you're not watching their videos. And if you actually subscribe to a channel and you don't watch their videos and the videos are being presented to you, it's actually going to start decreasing their impressions as well. So it's important. So Chris, welcome, Chris. Thank you. I hadn't said welcome to you either, had I? Oh, and I've got somebody in the basement. Oh, it's Jason. Oh, hey, Jason.
Awesome. Yes. There we go.
My Jade Perch are doing really well. Now I need to get the comments out of your face.
Welcome, Jason.
Hi.
Welcome, buddy.
I just turned the little grow lights on over here next to me. Lighten up the room a little bit.
Nice. How you been keeping? What's going on on your side?
Pollen, yay!
Have you been well, Jason?
Pretty well, yeah. Spring is coming, and I'm busy. Yeah, we had those 8 trees that I planted the other day, and then of course I just mentioned on chat I've got a new one, a peach tree that I picked up yesterday. It was, I was going to the ranch supply store. I came in there and I saw this peach tree just sitting there with these pretty little pink blossoms beginning to appear on it, and it said, "Hi, buy me." And I said, "Okay." I don't know where I'm going to put you yet, but I'm pretty sure I can find a spot.
Have you planted them since you got back? Have you been able to find a good position for them?
Yeah, I know where I'm going to put it now. Yeah. I was thinking about last time where I was going to put it, but I've got to get out there and plant it today, I guess.
So prep for it's just come in as well. Welcome. So it looks like everybody's waking up over in America.
Yeah, it's morning over here.
So what time is it there at the moment, Jason?
Where I'm at, and I'm in the middle of the country, it is almost 8 o'clock in the morning. I'm right here.
It's like 10 to 11 here.
Yeah, it's late out there.
Yes, not like earlier.
I'll be planting these guys today.
Ah, exciting.
These are wintergreen.
A wintergreen.
Wintergreen. They contain help me out here. Methyl salicylate. That's the active chemical ingredient inside wintergreen that makes it easy on your joints whenever you rub the essential oil on there. It's also antiseptic. Between these and the oregano and the peppermint, I'll have 3 out of the 4 ingredients that go into the popular antiseptic Lysol. Or not Lysol. Help me out here. Not Lysol. Listerine. That's it. And the only thing I'm missing is eucalyptus. I was like, I wonder if I can find a eucalyptus that'll actually grow in my zone. And that was what I was doing this morning. I found one at there's a nursery out on the West Coast called One Green World. I believe they're in Portland, Oregon. And they do have them, but they don't have any now. So I got on the waiting list for it.
It's always interesting when you've got to go on waiting lists for plants. Their wintergreen's one of the key ingredients in a lot of pain relieving rubs, isn't it?
It is.
I don't know if you guys have got tiger balm over there. I'm pretty sure wintergreen's one of the main ingredients. And
we can get tiger balm.
They actually made tiger balm illegal where I'm from. Like, it's strange. Really? I wish that we still could get it. Yeah, they basically made it illegal in South Africa because of the misuse of the plant as well, and the misuse of the.
Well, people were getting addicted to it.
Yeah, people were getting addicted to it. So it's pretty rough, but it's an amazing plant. It really is.
So we can only sometimes get like a little red tin. It's about the size of like a. I would say like, I'd say 50 cents, but like they don't know how big a 50-cent coin is. Okay, but it's like a penny. It's like a small little tin, and you can get it, and you can only get it from some Chinese stores.
Okay.
So strange. Wow. What is it? What is it in the tiger balm that is the problem?
Well. It's mostly because what they do is they'll actually take the tiger balm and then make the actual like a paste type of thing, and then they'll sniff that, and then when they do that, sorry, just one moment, this phone call. But when they do that, that's the problem with it.
Wow.
Huh. I don't think you're supposed to use it that way.
Mind you, a lot of people use things the way they're not supposed to.
Pretty sure you're supposed to apply it to the place that hurts. That's the way you're supposed to use it.
Yeah,
I'll be right back.
I'm pretty sure that's how you're supposed to do it. That must be really exciting, finding the eucalyptus.
Oh,
you can actually plant.
It'll be exciting if I can actually get one and grow it. The version I was looking at is one that only gets to be about 40 foot tall whenever it's as big as it can get. So if I keep it pruned, keep it as a small tree, I can probably fit it into the space. Well, even around here somewhere, as small as this property is, I only have 1/3 of an acre to work with.
You have a lot going on for 1/3 of an acre.
Yeah, you can pack an awful lot into a small space.
You can. It's interesting, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Especially when you start looking around at the spaces that you aren't using for anything. That's a great place to put trees. I'm not using this. Let's put a tree in there.
Yeah,
and then
you
realize, well, I get so much out of that tree. Let's get another tree. And one thing leads to another. So at the moment,
and you end up with a whole food forest.
Exactly.
Not just a tree. You got all the support species that come around it.
So at the moment, behind me is to the south. So the south side of the property, all along that side, there's the driveway, and that goes all the way to the carport. So it's an extended driveway. But we have at the curb, we've got a pear tree. This is a Bartlett pear, pretty heavy producer whenever they're full size. Couple 100 pounds a year whenever they're old. And then after that, it's blueberry tree, hazelnut tree, blueberry tree, hazelnut tree, blueberry tree, pecan tree, blueberry tree, open space for a willow whenever I get it, blueberry, hazelnut, blueberry, and then right by the carport is an oak, a bur oak, which will be quite a few years getting up to size. But whenever it gets up to size, it'll produce these really, well, you saw the video, really nice acorns. But that's
Yeah.
that's 13. Well, if you count the blueberries as trees, that's 13 different trees all along just that border, and that border is a thin strip from the driveway to the property line that wasn't doing anything else with. It was just something that had to be mowed. Now, instead of being something that has to be mowed, it's something that produces food.
Yeah. So are you gonna put in some nitrogen fixers and vines and that sort of stuff as well, or just
Yep.
what have you got planned?
Okay. Well, I don't have plans for any nitrogen fixing trees at that spot, but clover, I can probably fit some clover in. I'll probably put that on the outer side, and I'm thinking about getting a perennial red clover, so it'll be probably about 14 to 16 inches tall, whatever it's as big as it's going to get, and that will just let it grow, get to full size, cut it back to about half, and then drop that for fertilizer, and fertilize that way.
Cool.
And then
now it looks like Mel's asking you if you've got any St. John's wort.
I don't. For anxiety.
Lemon balm.
For anxiety, I have valerian. But
Valerian's wonderful.
I don't have enough of it right now that I can share it out. It's still being established in the beds that they're in. But I do have valerian that's helpful for anxiety. And of course, you can always do some nice breathing exercises. In through the nose, inflate your chest, push the lower half out, hold it for a moment, out through the mouth, and just keep going slow. Calm yourself down, lower your heartbeat. It's good stuff.
I find milking my goats and watching the fish swim, that really helps to calm me down. And just sitting and watching the chickens.
Yeah.
That's always really calming. Mind you, if you're on a small urban block, you're not going to have goats.
I don't know.
So milking your goats wouldn't really be an option.
Aggravating.
Pardon?
I always found milking the goats to be aggravating.
It probably depends on the goat.
Fished off the top of the teat, and you're getting ready to, and then they step into your bowl, and then you have to
My girls are pretty good. I'm really lucky. Although Mary did step in the milk yesterday, just as it was full. So I just finished milking Marbella. I just about finished milking Mary. So there was about 2 liters of milk in there. And I'm sitting there going, I should know better. I should have a bucket that I'm just filling up a little bit and then pouring it out. But I never do. But I think it's probably been months since I had the last foot in the bucket. Yeah, it's been a while since, and she was good today. So, So Lakeside Homestead with Dave and Karen said that they've decided to put some fruit trees in their front yard, and that we've built a new house and not landscaping yet. So instead of the standard trees, we're planting some fruit trees. That's wonderful.
And plant nut trees too, if you can. If you're buying a property, you got to be spending 20 years paying off the lease on the property. A lot of these older, the kind that need to be older to produce well, nut trees take that long to get to the point where they're producing well. You're going to be spending 20 to 30 years in the house anyway. Go ahead and start out by planting a nut tree. Let it grow up, let it get big. By the time you have the house paid off, you're going to be having a few 100 pounds of nuts coming in every year from your nut trees. Well, maybe not a few hundred. I guess it depends upon how many nut trees you plant.
Well, that's true. We've been here for 12 months already, and we haven't planted very many trees. But part of that is because we haven't decided where we want to put them. So I've got trees in pots. Doesn't quite count. But looks like Nettie's going to go off to bed. So thank you, Nettie, for joining me tonight. You have a great night's sleep. Nettie's from Silhouette Park Farm. If you haven't been to Nettie's channel, check it out. She's just had some gorgeous little lambs born, which I actually showed at the beginning of the live stream. And after 4 years of drought, they've now got a full dam. So absolutely stoked for them. So yeah, check out their channel.
That's awesome.
And Nettie and Adam are lovely. They really are. So yes, they come up with Silhouette Park Farm. So Nettie comes into a lot of live streams.
But they're the ones that are talking about the yellow belly in the pond.
Yes. Yeah. They had the yellow belly. So.
I know Granddad did an awful lot of irrigation out of his pond, but he stocked it with Well, he would like to go fishing, and he would go fishing on the rivers, and he'd bring back some of whatever he caught and stock the pond with it. So there's a variety of different things that wound up in there. Never any catfish though.
No catfish.
Huh?
Okay.
It was all perch. There's a thing called a walleye. He got a few of those in there. Both and then in the case of perch, it was both the sunfish and bluegills. Both of those were in there, and then crappie and both large and smallmouth bass. That's pretty much everything that was in there. And then of course turtles, because you can't get rid of them.
No, I've got a truckload of turtles in my dam because the previous owner seemed to collect them and they put them in there.
Oh wow. Yeah, we didn't deliberately put them in there, but they would come over from the creek nearby, and they would migrate over, get in the pond, and go to. So occasionally we would have turtle hunts to reduce the numbers a little bit, because there is such a thing as too many turtles.
Yes, at the moment we have too many turtles. So Lakeside Homestead. So David and Karen are saying that they're glad that they stopped in and they'll see us in the garden. And take care. They're off to the grocery store.
Sure.
Have fun. Going to have to keep an eye out for their garden reveals too. So all sorts of interesting things happening with the Northern Hemisphere starting shed wars now. And if anyone would like to come up, it's Adam. Welcome, Adam.
Hey,
so Jason, this is Adam from Silhoette Park Farm.
Hello, Adam.
Hey guys.
So how big is that? How big is that pond that you've got here?
Well, it's only about quarter full at the moment. And we didn't actually get a full dam out of it. It's about around about half an acre of water when it's fully full.
How deep does it go?
Oh, about I think at the deepest point about nearly 3 meters.
Okay.
So it's a lot of water when it's full.
That's a fair amount.
Yeah,
you could do something with it at least. Is it all rainwater that you're collecting in there, or did you hit a spring while you were digging it out?
No, all rainwater for us. So we've had 4 years of drought, so the ground level, the water level in the ground's just way down. We haven't had. It's our first time we've had running water in our creek that runs through our place for 4 years.
Oh wow!
So it's a huge boost for us. It's Gero and Jandera is not far from us as well, so it's a huge bonus for our whole area.
Nice.
It is. It's a huge bonus. I mean, the water supply for Southeast Queensland is in this area, and it's down to, I think it's up to 39% now. It had gotten down to 36%. So they were actually looking at putting Southeast Queensland on water restrictions, which wouldn't have affected Adam and I because we're on tank water. But the entire area really desperately needed rain.
Oh, yeah.
And we've just come out of our wet season.
So
more we're going into our dry season.
Has that sort of an issue that can establish water catchments and produce an area where surface water is collecting. The more people that do that, the more you can move a region to a different environment.
Yeah,
by putting the water up there on the surface, you can create a microclimate in the area, in the region itself, that will change the environment in the region. So if it
is a small enough body of water, do you think that you'd be able to chemically change the water just slightly so that it would be more suitable to the fish that are living in that area? Like just be able to alter the pH level?
Bye, Chris.
Yeah, bye, by the way.
That's a good question. What do you reckon, Jason? I know putting swales in and having water soaking into the ground is really helpful for the aquifers.
Altering pH in a body of water, depending upon how big it is, could be quite a task. I mean, even a half-acre pond is going to take a lot of adjustment to even move the needle a little bit.
Maybe, yeah. Just I don't know. Honestly,
I think probably your culture practices are going to have more to do with the pH adjustment than anything, and then just allow the biology to make the adjustments as time goes on.
By the way, Adam, sorry to just be so distant right now.
For our local area too. Sorry?
Sorry, I had Baker Leg try and come in the basement, but I was sharing the screen, so she got bumped.
Okay.
So Baker Leg, if you want to try again.
It's actually quite funny for. Am I breaking up, Geraldine, or?
A little bit. Oh, looks like I've lost Citizen Guardian too.
Yeah, I'm actually in Western Queensland at the moment, out at Nindi Gully Pub. So I've got a few gigs over the weekend. So I'm on my mobile phone and I'm out here. So Nettie's at home looking after the farm, but yeah, so I'm out here, and I actually had to drive through all the flood waters to get out here, which is funny coming from an extreme drought area. And it took me about 7 hours to get here to do a 5-hour drive, just to get out to where I am at the moment. And at the moment, all the water's coming down. The river just at the front of the Nindi Gully pub where I am at the moment is meant to peak tomorrow, I think. So I'm not even sure I can get home at the moment.
Oh no! Is that why you waited until Nettie had gone to come on? Does Nettie know you may not be able to come home?
No, she had a fair idea that might be the case, but yeah, I had to take any work I can get at the moment. So yeah, the water's coming down. It peaked at Gundawindi for the McIntyre River going through. It peaked at about 9 metres at Gundawindi. So Gundawindi's been completely cut off for a few days now. Wow. And the water's coming down. Apparently it hit Tabia this afternoon, and it should be heading towards Mungandai in that system. Should be hitting Mungandai about tomorrow afternoon. The water that's coming here down the Moonee River, the river's probably gone up about 2 metres just this afternoon, and the bulk of water's still coming down. So that's from the rain last Tuesday, and it's just a waiting game now to see how it comes down. Here it won't hit more than 5 metres, so it won't break the riverbanks here, but because it's a wide stretch of river. But yeah, it'll definitely a lot of water heading south, so heading down towards New South Wales, and then that'll head down through New South Wales and work its way to South Australia.
It's amazing. I mean, we've been in drought for so long, and now there are floods everywhere.
It's really funny because we actually haven't had that much water at home, and get the amount that we need still for it to be out of drought conditions we're still well under that. A lot of people aren't realising that. So at the moment, I'm still classing it as a green drought because we're still a long way off being home and hosed and happy to call it what it is. You know, it's going to be.
So I take it you want me to continue praying for rain then?
Oh, I'll tell you what, we could probably do with another 100 mil in the dam. That'd be nice. So yeah, that'd be.
I was starting to think it was nice to have a bit of a break.
Oh, I'll tell you what, it's just absolute godsend though, just to be able to say that we've actually got water. I think Geraldine, I think you saw in our videos how excited. I was trying to hold a straight face when I was taking Nettie and the boys down, and they got to have a look at the dam for the first time, and they were absolutely over the moon. It was ridiculous. So they loved it.
I think I get spoiled.
Wrong, Adam. Nettie came back online.
I think I get spoiled out here. We get about 40 inches per year of rain.
Yeah, Jason, that's really nice.
Well, it's not quite rainforest levels, but
it just helps so much. Sorry, Adam. I apologize there. It's just a bit of a lag issue. I'm sorry.
As the crow flies from us directly southeast from where we actually live, if you go about 90 kilometres down south of there, back a few months ago, in 90 hours, they received 940 mil of rain. So I don't know what that is in inches, but 940 mil in 90 hours they got down there. and that was only like
A
90
lot.
kilometers from us,
That's good.
and we got zero. We got nothing. So we could actually see the storm clouds going to the south of us, and we didn't even get a sniff of it. So it was definitely been a hit and miss season, the whole storm season this year.
Which is
I'm very
also
happy
why
with
you've
the
had a lot of
Queensland.
That's a lot.
Queenslanders. A lot of the Queensland channels are constantly talking about rain because it's a challenge.
We've
So
all
welcome.
we've all gone from homesteaders and preppers to weather guys.
We have lots of how much rain is in my rain gauge.
You can't grow anything without water, so it's important.
Hey, Bacon Egg. Hey.
That's
Are you-
the most
are you
exciting thing
enjoying
about
your
having
coffee?
water again is actually being
Doing
able
my
to say we're going to grow
coffee.
some gardens.
I'm tired this morning. I was outside trying to finish up my garden for like 8, 9 o'clock last night. So
Oh boy! So you're gonna have something special to show us here in a day or two, right?
I am.
That's exciting.
I
That-
did
Very exciting.
everything
that-
all by myself, except I got a little help with putting the compost into a few of the beds, but my lower back is hurting so bad. So
I'll bet that was a lot of compost that you got. Good stuff too.
yeah. I got a little nervous with it because I've never used like horticultural type of compost. So I wasn't sure if I needed to add anything else into it. You know, all it is broken down sticks and leaves and stuff like that. So
You shouldn't have to. It's everything that went into a plant in the first place. So it's great for feeding plants.
I didn't do a video on it. I was trying to keep everything in order, but I left out the stamping part, you know, it's around the ground. Well, one thing I did do, Jason, and I don't know if you'll agree or disagree, is I added some worms into the beds.
That's great.
Because I got a little nervous, like, oh, it needs something, you know?
Yeah. Well, raised beds especially, they need biological activity going on in them, and there's nothing better to keep biological activity occurring than having some worms working your bed for you.
I'm doing
So that's a good
compost
move.
with like kitchen scraps since November that's breaking down, and some of it got a little wet, and I added some paper and some leaves to it, but I wasn't sure if I should dig a hole and drop some of that right in there.
Yeah, you can.
I could still do it even if it was a little wet.
Yep.
It'll
Good
break
night,
down.
Nettie.
Not gonna hurt the worms.
Yeah, I just wasn't
Night,
sure, like
Nettie.
if the
Sleep
worms
well.
need something to eat.
Love you,
Like,
mate.
what are the worms going to eat? Oh,
Worms will eat anything that was alive. Well, anything that was plant matter.
well,
can
there's
take
still
your
some
scrap
broken
out
down little tiny sticks that you can see, but there's no rocks or anything. And, you know, it was completely screened, like really well. And then we got a terrible storm here. And the reason why this project that I'm doing was taking so long is because my friend's yard is like flat on one side, and then it goes like up on a hill and then levels out. So the hill part had to be tilled. The ground had so many rocks. So we had a really bad storm here, and I was checking out the beds the next day because I'm like, if something's going to go wrong, it's going to go wrong after a storm, right? I go and check everything out, and I think it rained some stones because there was little stones that's sitting on the top of my bed. And I'm like, what the heck? So I was like picking them out. I'm like, oh. So it's just been a project, and I just can't wait to be able to say, like, welcome to my garden, because Jason knows I've been through a lot last year, and this has been absolutely amazing. But the reason why I'm going to use this as my innovation, if I'm saying that correctly, is because, as Willa Grow says, it's something you've never done before. And I've never installed raised beds before in my life. And I will honestly say this, God bless somebody that does that for a living, because it is god awful hard. So, you know, between putting them all together, getting them, you know, the ground situated, laying them out, then they're crooked. One side's higher than the other. Getting them level, it was just a lot of work. But I hope at the end of the day, I still have a little fine tuning to do, but at the end of the day, it obviously is for me to be able to grow more food. I've done in-ground gardens before. I've also paid to use the community garden before. This is my own garden, and I'm just super excited, and I hope my subscribers absolutely love seeing the garden once I do this reveal. So
It sounds really exciting.
Are you?
no, should I give you all a sneak peek? You'd be the
Can I
first
ask
to
you?
see the sneak peek.
Are you busy? Are you repurposing the stones as well? Are you using the stones that you're taking out, building any rock gardens or anything like that with them?
The stones, well, here it's like very. See, I've planted in clay before. It's not exactly clay here. It's like a yellowish type of dirt. I can't even explain it. It's very rocky. No, they were like some big ones I was pulling out. You know, there's just no way I could utilize. I didn't want to till in the first place, but it left me no choice. I'm kind of glad I did till because there was more rocks than I anticipated. So I just went by what my gut was telling me because it was just me flying solo on this project. And if I had any, questions, I would ask it on my live. Like, for an example, to Jason Avers, I was like, I'm getting a big load of compost. Like, is this good stuff or is it not? You know what I mean? So, but I'm pretty much this year, I've done a lot of things when it comes to gardening, but I'm doing everything. Even if it's a pot, I'm doing it the horticultural type of way. I put some leaves on the bottom. I put some of my compost. That's all horticultural compost. And yeah, that's the route I'm taking this year, which is a total new thing for me. I'm used to certain soils and blah, 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 blah. But, you're a true gardener when your friend asks you, what do you want for Christmas? I already knew about the beds because he told me he was doing them. And then I was like, compost. And he's like, all right, I'm going to pay for your compost and all your beds. Thank God he paid for it, folks, because
that's great.
I'm glad I didn't have to. That was expensive.
Yeah, that was a lot of really high-end.
That was expensive. And I kept saying to him, that's a lot of money. I mean, I live like outside the city. Some people call it urban. I don't know how to describe where I live. I'm out of the city, but I'm also like where the house is over to the left is the river. So the Delaware River is running right alongside. It's like my house and then it's riverfront property. So you'll get some of the wind off of the river and whatnot. So, I don't know. But I'm just hoping that everyone loves it. The only discrepancy I'm having is I wanted to just do a solo video for my channel for all my subscribers that have been sticking, by me through everything. Of like the whole garden reveal, and then bingo was Shed Wars of like your innovation, something you've never done before. Technically, that could be two things for me, which is putting in a raised, garden. And the second thing would be is dealing with horticultural type of compost. I don't know which one to go for because I'm going to do, the video today. I'm just not sure. I don't know.
Well, it's good stuff that you got. It would take me about 8 or 9 cubic yards worth of raw material plus a year's worth of work, getting it worked to the point where you would have 1 yard of what you got. And you got, I think, 24 yards.
Yeah, I called a farm. I called around a couple different places, and they could have just lied to me and took the money. And a few places were like, no, we mainly deliver for people's yards that have dogs. So it would have stones, da-da-da-da in it. So I really did my research. I went to a place around here that's called Shady Brook Farms, and they did the measuring. I told them the beds were 8x4x1. And that's the measurements they came out with. Obviously, there's some left over. Let's just say that. But I'm using it for, I'm freshening up all my pots, things that are old. I'm going right for some leaves on the bottom, throwing the horticultural compost in there. You know what I mean? I've been finding some worms because of the rain that we got, and I'm throwing that in there too. And I'm planting new and fresh stuff. So there is going to be some, I think, left over, but not a drastic amount. Well, there's a good bit out there right now. Don't get me wrong. But I want to make sure I have some left over for next year for some sinkage.
Yes.
So if it decides to sink, I can just top it off. But I'm trying to do like a no-till type of raised bed. So that's 3 different experiences for me this year. 3. Putting in a garden from scratch by myself using horticultural type of compost. And what did I just say my third one was? Oh, it's too early to have to think. Yeah, I forgot where I was going with that. Sorry, guys and gals.
You were speaking about the layering and doing it the horticulture way.
Oh, yeah, the no-till method. Thank you so much.
Yeah,
I'm only on my first cup of coffee, and I've been up since like 6:30 here. But yeah, so I don't want
I'm on my first.
to mess that up. You know, I don't want to till it. I want it to do its own thing. And if I need to top it off next year, I'll have some extra compost to be able to just put on there. There's no chicken manure in there. There's no cow manure. There's nothing like that in there. So if you're into the gardening and into watching me, who, as you know, has no editing software, this comment came up earlier about my subscriber count. What I was meaning by that is I've been at 600 quite a few times, but then YouTube does what it does. I'm not in it for like the money per se, or like the subscribers. I just don't like it when you're busting your hump and you make very good relationships with people and you are building up your platform, and then YouTube will take 4 away, they'll take 10 away, and then you'll see 5 come back, and then that drives me nuts because I should have been at 600 like for the last 3 weeks. That's all I was saying as far as that comment is concerned. But you know, I follow everyone's channel that follows me. I'll go in, I'll watch 3 videos, I comment, I give it a thumbs up. And you know, when anybody comments on my page, I get to every single comment. That was another thing that's going on with YouTube is I'm getting no notifications. I didn't get a notification to your live this morning. I just so happened to turn it on and I saw that you were live, and I was like, yes, I just met her. Let me go in and check out her live, say hello, you know, meet some new people in the Shed Wars community and the garden community. But yeah, between the notifications with YouTube and some of the comments aren't showing up in YouTube. I don't know. I use an app called like Tubby or whatever, but I'll see the notifications or like someone's comments inside there. And I'm like, it's like basically having to use 3 apps when YouTube should just have all your comments come up and stop messing with your numbers, but it just is what it is. Jason, did you just get another cup of coffee, my friend?
I did. I ran and got another cup of coffee. This will be number 2.
I'll probably need about 3 of these cups today. So who would like a sneak peek?
I'm going to make a move, mate.
Before anyone else? You just said, not tell anybody.
Oh, looks like Adam's got to get going. It's actually a late night for him here.
I'm going to try to get some sleep, Carolyn.
Well, it was nice meeting you, Adam.
It's nearly 11:30 at night, so.
Yeah, come over to my channel, check out the new garden, and be great to have you. It's nice meeting you.
Man,
Adam's one of my neighbours.
Actually getting our gardens back going again, so it's going to be great.
Yep.
Okay,
and check out Adam's videos. He's just put up one about a surprise new lamb, so that was really exciting. Nice. And I'll pop up another link too. See you, Adam. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, I can't see the link now, but Adam, leave me a comment and I'll follow you back and check out your videos.
It's great to see you, Adam. Half an hour.
See you, Adam. Adam's from Silhouette Park Farm. So he and Nettie jump on heaps of people's lives. They're absolutely fantastic. Adam does a lot of live streams on Facebook as well as YouTube with country music and all that sort of thing. It's part of what they do.
I can't stand Facebook. I don't like it at all.
He does do some on
Instagram
YouTube
and YouTube, and that's about it.
I used to have,
Jason,
but
I know you're funny, Jason, about box stores, and I am too, but I do have to say this. When I was filling a pot with that compost, it was starting to feel real heavy,
right.
You know? I guess maybe because of all the rain, so it kind of was scaring me. So I went and I picked up some coconut core because I got worried about it being so thick in one of the pots.
Yeah.
I wanted to lighten it up a little bit. That's not going to hurt it, right?
Nah. Well,
I put a little bit of that in, and of course, let's go there with some perlite.
Perlite, yeah.
But I'm like, should I put some of that in my raised beds? No, we're good. I don't know.
Well, it depends. Get your compost wet and see how it responds whenever it gets wet, and then let it dry out and see if it crusts up or if it gets spongy.
Well, I noticed the top layer of the bed is getting a little like hard because the sun's beating on it. And when I went to, mix in the worms, I felt like it was a little heavy. So
it could be. I mean, if it's mostly organic matter, then it'll be a bit mucky. And then you might want to add some things in there to help loosen it up.
Would that be okay, doing the perlite and some cocoa core?
Perlite is great. Cocoa core it's okay, but it's expensive. You have to buy a lot of it to get an effect out of it.
Well, I wasn't really trying to do it like that. I know you're probably going to disagree, but I was just going to go, some of it I can go like this and it's fine.
All right.
I'm just going to add it like a little bit in half, and just mix it in.
Right. Well,
will it eventually make its way down to the bottom, or I'm going to have to flip the whole thing?
Having the worms in there is going to take care of a lot of those problems for you, because they're going to be constantly working in and out and creating aeration channels through that soil.
Well, it's so funny. I should have recorded it. It was really funny. I'm going to tell you this quick story. First of all, I'm crazy. What I mean by that is if I start a job, I'm going to start it and obviously finish it, but it could be down to the last marigold to get it into the pot. I'll be out there with a lantern. I'm that type of woman.
Right.
So the other day, I was so beat from everything that I did. And that's why my videos haven't been, I've been trying to post every day, but like Friday, I did a video for Friday, and literally it slipped my mind to even post it that said, this big reveal for Sunday. It was just to show people how to recycle some of the herbs you have around your property. It's like shopping for free, and how to freshen up, your soil. Right. I had an herb bucket. It was so root bound that I got rid of that with fresh compost in it. So anyway, I forgot to post it because the day before, or 2 days ago, I was killing myself trying to get done. Wanted to beat the rain, came in, and then my friend went and bought 8 containers of worms. 8 containers. So I took the container of worms and was splitting it in 3, each container, in 3 spots of all 8 beds in the pouring rain. And some of them are floating to the top, and I'm like, no, I'm saving your lives. Get down there. You know what I mean? Because I think he may have just got them from like
bait and tackle.
What do you call it? Like a tackle bait place.
Yeah, those will work.
Yeah, they're earthworms. And I was like, oh man. So some of them didn't look like they were moving as quick. They were probably stunned because they have them in the refrigerator.
Yeah.
Other ones were moving very quickly. So I just spreaded them out. A few wanted to come straight up to the top. And I'm like, no, get down in there. Do your job. Literally talking to the worms. I'm like, but I just saved your lives. I'm like, okay, I'm done. I need to stop gardening. I'm now talking to the worms. It's crazy.
I've done a video where I was talking to my worms before. It's okay.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I don't usually go around talking to the worms, and my friend's out there standing under the awning, not getting wet. And I'm like, there's something wrong with me. I'm over here talking to the worms. He goes, Are they answering you back? And I said, no. And he goes, well, until then, don't worry about it.
That's about the size of it. Homestead Aquarius,
So
welcome.
funny. But I'm questioning, like, I really went off of my gut instinct with this whole process. I may have asked a few questions on my Sunday nights that are live at 8 Eastern, but not too many. And I feel like besides my neighbor, like we had to do a bunch of wheelbarrows. I mean, I think just one bed alone took like 9 or 10. So my son came over. He's got some beefy arms, you know, he was already complaining. So thank God, if you didn't see that video, my neighbor comes over with this machine that did move it along faster, but then I had to go in and push it all down, you know what I mean?
Right.
Because of the sinkage. And I didn't want that to happen right away. So I was like, okay. I couldn't even like do this the next day. My hands were killing me from doing that. But, you know, I happen to have a very nice neighbor next door who owns a company who happened to have that machine. You know, he just went to work and got it. I don't know what it is, Jason. You know what it is, right? That type of machine.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
He was like standing on it. So you didn't see my video. How dare you? No, just kidding. He was riding on it and using little controllers to lift up the little claw and was lifting up the compost and wheeling it in and
front end loaders
in the beds.
Front end loaders. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So, I mean, that was a great big help. I mean, we were already like 3 beds in. I couldn't even feel my arms. If you can see, I don't have very thick arms as it is. I never will.
To begin with.
My arms on Monday, I said to my friend, the Monday that just passed, I said to my friend on Monday, he's like, how are you? And I said, I feel like I was in a car accident. Yeah. Like I legit, my neck, I just couldn't even move. I said, I didn't even know that I had muscles in these weird places because everything's killing me.
I think every
so
gardener.
That's why I'm hoping that everyone enjoys it. You know, plus I'm growing a lot. It is for me. It's not all for Shed Wars, but I'm also going to have a very nice neighbor next door. He and his wife, she has a very small little garden. So I'm going to give her some, I like to say varieties of things that, you know, I'm going to share food with them. There's a house back here. I'm going to share some food with them and do a lot of like preserving. Because I saw the captain, Team Woodcutter, wrote some type of comment under my video. I guess because it is a lot in the you know the window on my shelving I have going on, you know, about sharing, and that's obviously the game plan. Like Jimmy has a sister and 2 nieces, so I'll be like, here you go, help yourselves.
Those shelves full of seed starts that you've got behind you, whatever you're doing. You've got a lot.
I have a lot, but I have a method to my madness, except my 2 little dogs did it to me again yesterday. If you haven't seen that short, go over and take a look at it, where they got in and they busted some of the cups and everything all on the bottom. They killed my onions. So I'm outside killing myself yesterday. I just so happened to look out the corner of my eye, and I have 2 small Yorkies. They were laying on the bottom shelf. And I'm outside saying to my roommate, like, oh my God, I'm going to kill them. I'm going to kill them. I go in, busted up cups again. Things I just up-potted the day before they had dumped over. I'm like, oh. You know, because they're used to.
Chickens are a lot worse to gardens. They're shocking.
Yeah, they're like having 2 little kids, but they are outside dogs. My 2 little Yorkies love being outside, and they wanted to just look out the door, but they keep going to the bottom shelf, and I need the bottom shelf. I'm running out of room. So just craziness. I probably lost 5 to 8 things yesterday, but there was more dirt all over than really anything else. And some brand new peppers that I planted, they were completely up out of the pot due to these 2 little dogs. I have a Yorkshire Terrier that's a silky. She has the longer legs, but she's not real big. And then I have Sophia, and she's a toy Yorkie. And they were both just laying on the bottom shelf, just looking out the window like, hi, Mom. You know, right on my vegetables. I'm like, oh. I said to Jimmy, my roommate, I said, next year I need a better system. This is a full in-ground basement here. but it has windows, 2 windows about this big, no bigger. I'm thinking maybe I could figure out some type of way of doing this downstairs in the basement, you know, with the lights. But I'm so used to, like, my house, the patio doors, and using that extra light that comes in.
Right.
So I don't know how that's going to work out, but I think this is different this year for me.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure if this whole dining room thing is going to be like a permanent fix.
Yeah.
So
well,
I'd love to have a greenhouse, but you know,
is a very nice thing. My daughter is she's in Dunbar, and the house that she and her mom are currently in has an entire basement underneath, which is like the entire house all over again, except it's underground. So she's been chatting with me about, I want to come in here. It's got a separate entrance. We're going to turn it into my own apartment. Okay, cool.
Well, that's the thing. This is a in-ground basement, but I'm in a rancher where everything's all on one floor.
Right.
But the basement, unbelievable. Well, this used to be Jimmy's parents' house, and then he bought it and whatnot. But there's like multiple rooms down there. But as soon as you go down, it's the big room. And he built like a handmade bar. It's got a big pool table, but the pool table's been here for years, so that's going to have to go because the legs are now about this big, like swollen and warped. That's going to be a project. We have to get that out. I kind of want to turn that middle into like a family room. He is a pow kind of person and can make his own stuff down there. He has everything. He's got a craftsman tool room down there. It's got a lot of rooms down there. My thing is trying to figure out if I can designate a specific spot to be able to do my start in these plants next year down there, so I don't keep running into this problem with these 2 little dogs, you know?
Right, because you need someplace where you can keep the dogs out of it.
Yeah, Jimmy just said to me yesterday, because this time his dog, he is a Labrador, like a golden lab, and she's afraid of everything. And she was just standing there, like not doing anything, like, yeah, do it. Just go ahead, do it, you know. And Jamie said, yeah, Trinity wasn't involved whatsoever, you know. And I said, no, it's my 2 culprits. So he suggested, you're going to be outside, you know, like really in depth doing something, then either put them in your room or put them in their crate. You know what I mean? Because this is the second time they got you with destroying your plants. Because I will only use the crate if they do something wrong. It's a little crate for little dogs. You know, if they're bad, I'll put them in there for a timeout. But yeah, I guess I can't turn my back on these 2. They'll have to be either outside with me where I can see them, because they like to be up my rear end anyways, like having 2 additional kids, or they're going to have to just go into the bedroom and stay there. I cannot take my eye off of these dogs any longer until those beautiful plants get to go outside. So, but the other reason why I have so many, I will explain to y'all, is the factor I went to concession. So 2 years ago, I was picking, this is a true story, Pennsylvania 7B grow zone. I was picking tomatoes until November. We didn't have like snow then or anything crazy, but that's kind of the idea. If someone needs an extra plant, I have it. If I put a plant in a hole and it just dies for whatever reason, I'm going to pull it out, the next one in. So that's another reason why I planted so many, is to help feed 2 other families and to be able to concession sow all the way into like November.
Nice.
That's the game plan. I want to be able to pick tomatoes again into November.
Yeah, being able to pick tomatoes in November is that's pretty good.
My tomatoes did great. They were like the purple Cherokees, I think they were. But by November, and you're a full-time gardener, by November, I was so sick of seeing tomatoes that I was like, that's it. I picked all the, you know, ripe tomatoes off, went back out with a big Italian like metal pot and said, I'm done. I went and picked off all the green tomatoes and ripped the plants out and said, I'm done, because I needed a serious break. That was the very first time I ever thought to myself, wow, could you imagine what the farmers go through? Like, that's their downtime. That's when they get a break. This is exhausting.
Right.
And then I was done. I recuperated throughout the winter, and but it really broadened my horizons as far as like how far I could push it and knowing when to stop, like when I was getting kind of sick of it. And it just made me think of like the farmers and how they feel, that's their only time off is when it's off season,
And they don't get paid. They don't get paid a decent hourly wage either. They don't get paid like most people expect to get paid.
So that explains why
farmers have a very hard, like, I would hate to say traditional farmers, but the way people farm normally, not when they're using permaculture methods or regenerative methods, it is a hard life. It's not easy. And I mean, part of gardening is losing plants. My goats eat my garden constantly, and half of it's my own fault because I put them too close to it. You've really got to. I mean, and I was losing my garden constantly to my chickens and my guinea fowls.
Well, there's
you've got to fence them out
around here, so it's fenced in, but it has gaps big enough to where my dogs can get through it. And there was a fox that ran straight through the yard that literally looked like the size of a coyote. And I'm like, oh my God, what was that? And then I realized what it was. And I was like, oh yeah, no, that just can't happen. And Jimmy's like, yeah, there's quite a bit of stuff. Jimmy is my roommate. There's quite a bit of stuff that comes into the yard. So we did the plastic chicken wire black to go around the brand new black fencing. We zip tied the whole top. We just have to zip tie the bottom just to do that extra measure to hope nothing gets in and has a field day on my garden after going through all this. So. But I'm by the river.
That is hilarious.
There's beaver, there's foxes, there's a big, there's a lot of wild, not called wildlife. Well, there is a big wildlife community, but there's a lot of untouched property. Like we have a state park here that's nothing but woods. So, we get all the wild animals. But hopefully they just stay out of the yard where I'm building a garden. So are you all dropping a video for Shed Wars or what's going on?
Well, two of us are in the Southern Hemisphere. So Citizen Guardian and I are in the Southern Hemisphere. I've done my video, my Shed Wars challenge on, we were doing resourcefulness. So I've done my resourcefulness video. Are you doing one, Citizen Guardian, on the resourcefulness challenge?
What's happening at the moment with that is a lot of the challenges in that I should have been partaking in. I have been giving it thought, and I have also planned out for that. But I've missed quite a large amount of the challenges this year as well. But I definitely plan on trying to release at least one more Shed Wars video before the April season comes up. And it's definitely something where I've had a big learning lesson regarding creating the Shed Wars videos as well, because what I should have been doing is segmenting the videos that I've got instead of collecting and compiling a lot of information as well. Also, broke a leg. If you said that you don't really currently have editing software, if you go to Shotcut online, so it's SHOTCUT, so Shotcut. If you check that out as well, Shotcut is free and you can do free editing in that. So it's a great solution for editing problems. And there's a whole bunch of free software that you can use. If you ever want to, or if you're ever interested in finding out about more of them as well, I'm more than happy to share all of the different types of editing software and different resources that you can use.
Heaps. I mean, I actually edit all of my videos on my mobile phone using free apps.
That's really cool.
Occasionally, I'll do some on my PC. If I'm on my PC, I use the built-in Windows video editor, and that comes with Windows. If you're running on a Mac, it's got free software as well. So the free software is already built into your operating system. So
my laptop is a little bit older, so I'm doing my videos strictly off my phone. I have no editing software. I was going to get a laptop for Christmas. Now it's just be my birthday. I don't know what's going on with that. But yeah, I don't have any editing software whatsoever. I would have loved to have someone else do this video for me today that has a good editing software. I feel like it's very worthy of that, you know, yada, yada, whatever. But no, I went to put on, I can't think of the name of the software. It was for beginners that are just learning to edit. And my computer wasn't compatible with it. It's probably about 8 to 10 years old, my Sony laptop. And yeah, it wasn't compatible. You can't update the drivers anymore or anything like that. So eventually I'm going to move on to a different laptop, but I do everything from my phone. So if there's like a flubber in my video, I just leave it.
Yeah, the thing is, what I wanted to speak on about that as well is that even if you have, for example, like you have to use your strengths as a person and bring that across on the platform as well. So for example, like when it does come to strengths, you're somebody that's very insightful, that enjoys communication as well. So that's something, even if you don't have the updated software, you're absolutely able to use your personal strength and embellish that on like the channel as well and make sure that you're capable of, like, for example, because you're capable of talking so freely, you're very comfortable with communication. A lot of people actually struggle with that, where they really feel hindered by that aspect, even if they've got all the best software in the world and the latest computers. It always comes down to using what you can personally use. Like, for example, if you aren't really using editing software, you might want to think of maybe just doing like short, you know, like even if, no matter what the length, irrespective of the length of the video as well, just basically making it so that you can upload more frequently. Because say, for example, like sometimes somebody will make a video like every 2 weeks or 3 weeks or whatever, like in my case, where I do the editing and all of that type of thing. But it's so much like there's such a spiel to it and it's such a mission compared to like being able to really just be expressive with yourself. So what I'm basically saying is that it's definitely about utilizing the strengths that you have and, like, you know, zoning in on those and being able to communicate, because I definitely feel the reason why I enjoy listening to you as well, and the reason why I enjoy you being able to express yourself the way that you are, is I'm also a bit of a chatterbox when I get going. As you can see, I really enjoy chatting a bit as well, and I enjoy communication with people, making new friends. I love it. So it's like I've had experiences in my past where, because of my enjoyment of communication and because I do tend to like really just speak a whole bunch of nonsense all the time, and I really love people, that's why I do it. And the reason why I can do that as well, and what I do want to do, is just encourage you to like keep just doing exactly as you're doing right now. Just be like as real as you are, and then just carry on like uploading, like, you know, on a semi-regular basis. It's definitely about that. So that's all I really wanted to say, is that I think the fact that you can communicate.
Thank you for that. I really appreciate it, because I can be a little bit of a chatterbox, but
it's awesome. That's a good thing.
It's very weird because I'm a social butterfly. I like to communicate with people, but sometimes when that camera goes on, I'm like, da 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 da, and then it's like take 5. You know what I mean? Because with not having an editing software, I have to start over. I'll just re-record it. Sometimes that's a pain in the butt, but I'm very outgoing. I'm very, I guess a little chatty. But I don't think
it's a good
thing.
No.
I've always been very outgoing and a talkative person. And the thing of it is with YouTube, I don't know what it is, but sometimes when that camera goes on, it's like my demeanor changes. I either get nervous or, you know, I catch myself blubbering or saying the wrong word. Like over here in the United States and Benzown, Pennsylvania, I have a tendency of saying variety. And my friend Jay, who is a dentist, and his parents are school teachers, he's like, you know, that's not how you say that word. I'm like, I know. But sometimes I have my own words, like my own dictionary, you know what I mean? I try to put a little humor behind it. I guess he's thinking like, oh, well, you don't really know how to say the word. It's like, okay, I'll give you an example. I was joking around, making light, and I said, can you pass me the leveler? And he's like, it's called a level. I'm like, well, I obviously know that. I just called it a leveler, you know. So yeah, I'm an outgoing person. I like to chatter. Sometimes when I need to get things done and it's time to go in front of the camera without having an editing software, if I flubber my words or goof it up, you know, small, tiny mistakes, I'm just going to leave it. Because I'm real on my channel. I'm not perfect. You know, I'm going to make mistakes. I'm a gardener. I don't know everything about gardening. If I have a question, I go to Jason Avers. You know, that's my buddy. And I always say on all of my lives and different people's lives, when his name gets mentioned, I say, and quote unquote, don't get offended, Jason, but I say, Jason's like a scientific encyclopedia, like a walking scientific encyclopedia. That's how I look at him. That's his way of doing things. Me, which I love the way that he does things, and that's why I go to him. Because if I don't know something, there's no shame in asking someone else who handles things a little bit differently. I try to do things on my channel more on like a basic level, not as you know, huge and in depth and, you know, like the way Jason does it, because it's no insult to anyone. It's just that you know, there's some people that reach out to me that want to garden and they say how quickly they get confused. So I decided to take the other route and make it a little bit less complex, a little bit cut and dry, a little bit smaller. And then if it's something that they really need to know, I send them to Jason Avers is what I do. You know, because Jason Avers has all the scientific reasons of why this does this, how to get this. I can't even grow rosemary. I mean, come on now. Hello, propagating. Like, how do I know that stuff? It's because of Jason Avers. And I've been a gardener for a very, very long time. For the new people that want to hear me chatter, it's only been the last 3 seasons where I stopped buying from box store and I did everything from seed. So I'm educating myself and learning along the way. I don't feel as if I'm this great gardener, but even at my age, which is the point, is you keep learning as you keep going. You know, you could be 80 and still learn something new when it comes to gardening. So I just think Jason Avers' approach, and him being a very dear friend of mine, he's also a moderator on my channel, love him to pieces. But when somebody's got something complicated they want to know, I'm like, go over to Jason Avers, because that's my buddy. He's a walking scientist encyclopedia. Like, this is exactly how I explain Jason.
That's true, though. Yeah. It really is. You can look at his background is so apt there. Like the fact that there's so much knowledge and all the books there. Like, he's just like really the wizard of gardening. So when it does come to,
and he's got these big words and everything going on. And me, I am just the woman who wants to teach someone to garden, and I want to learn some more as I go along. I just may not know how to pronounce a specific plant. You know, I might call it Genovese basil, and then was corrected yesterday that apparently I was saying it wrong. I don't know, Jason, help me out, buddy.
I don't know.
Genovese? Is it Genovese or is it Genovese?
I think Genevieve, but I don't quote me on
Genevieve, yes, because I said to my friend yesterday, but I hear so many gardeners call it Genovese basil. And you know what? I picked that up off of other gardeners doing that, but I'm pretty sure it's Genovese
thing that needs to be put outside because it's too big for its britches is a sweet basil. It's about all I grow.
Sweet basil?
Yeah.
Oh, that looks really good.
It's big
nice
enough.
And healthy.
It's big enough that I can hide behind it, see?
And you see what I mean about him being a walking encyclopedia? Look at the background. Look at all the books.
I think my sweet basil's a bit bigger.
There's just so much knowledge in Jason's head. I'm like Jason Avers' biggest fan, I'll tell you what.
Okay, not on these shelves here, but there are.
Homestead Aquarius, hello, my friend. Hello.
I was going to say earlier that doing raised beds and doing also aquaponics as well gives you that opportunity to control a space.
Right.
To the point where you know exactly what goes into it. You can follow a formula for that space that you're growing in. You know, you can follow a formula for how you're going to mix up the soil that goes into your raised beds. You follow a formula for how you're going to care for your fish and your plants in an aquaponics system, and that takes out a lot of the guesswork and a lot of the trying to make adjustments on the fly with whatever the soil conditions happen to be. You walk into any site in the world and get there the first day that you're there, you know absolutely nothing about what's going on. Absolutely nothing. Even if you're an experienced gardener, it's a brand new space. You're a novice now. Congratulations. You've just reached novice.
Yeah, I feel lost. Like this brand new space, horticultural, compost, and I also don't want to till it. So that I'm in 3 new avenues. So welcome to my journey. I'm probably going to screw up and make mistakes, but that's the object of my channel. We're going to grow together. As long as we can produce food, that's the most important thing.
It really does apply to everything, though. As soon as you start thinking that you know enough, or that you know a large amount of something, that's when you really are more likely to make error. So it really does apply to all aspects of life. I like thinking of myself, and it might sound strange, but thinking of myself as the dumbest person in any room, because if you do that, and if you really just always keep that mentality that you really, because it's funny when a person's younger, right? So you think that you know so much, and that when you, specifically myself, I can really only talk for myself here. I really thought that I knew everything about the world. I was so knowledgeable. I'd talk back about a lot of things. I'd think that if somebody started to speak, I wouldn't really listen. I didn't understand how to listen properly yet either. So it's something that definitely developed with me over time. But it's just, I don't know, it really comes down to just being able to always just learn from other people and never think that you know enough about really anything.
Never seem to think you know it all when it comes to gardening, because
you spoke,
you're either green and growing or ripe and rotting.
Yeah.
And you were speaking about age as well. You know, when you spoke about age and that type of thing. And obviously, I think it's because I'm getting I'm 35 now, so I'm getting to the point where I'm getting into my 40s quite soon, and that type of thing. And the way that I see it is a beautiful thing in itself, because it really, and I've mentioned this before, but it's that knowledge that you gain as you get older, and that wisdom that comes with age is something that you can really cherish. In the modernized society, we view aging as something that's a negative, when in actual fact, what it really is something to be rejoiceful over, because I've also lost a lot of friends along the way. A lot of people have passed away that I was very close with. So seeing that, what happens is you definitely start to realize that it's just a blessing to still be alive. It's just a blessing that you actually made it till this point. Yeah. I mean, we're having this conversation, for example. Go ahead.
Yeah, because you know what, on what you just said, my ex-husband's
Oh, I think we lost your sound there, Baker Leg.
Audio. Yeah, your audio.
Can you hear me?
There we go.
Oh, that's better.
Okay. I was married before, but my ex-husband's grandfather was straight Sicilian, and he used to say these little garden tips. To this day, I'll never forget things and I was gardening then, and I'm like, because I wasn't doing that, and he would be like, if you ever want to make sure you're absolutely going to be okay, as far as, putting your plants outside, always wait to Mother's Day, or single stemming tomatoes all the way up to steel rod, as his grandfather used to do. So I understand what you're saying. I still think of pop-up, and I still listen to some of the things that he says, and I'm like a sponge in the brain. Jason Avers, I stuck his things in. I hear other people's knowledge, and I try to learn from all that. So.
No, it's beautiful. It's a very good thing.
I do an awful lot of Google.
Wouldn't you agree, Jason, though, that not everything, I understand the power of Google as well, but wouldn't you agree that there's a lot of stuff that is within books and actual text that really isn't always available on Google, for example? And
Google doesn't know everything.
Yeah, exactly.
Very, very true.
There is that tendency people will fall into, is well, if it's not on the internet, it doesn't exist. But the way it got on the internet in the first place is somebody wrote a book, and then somebody scanned the book, and now it's on the internet. So there's still loads of information that's out there that hasn't made it to the net yet.
Yeah, my wife is
fortunate. Thank you so much for having me up on the panel. I really do appreciate it. It was super nice.
My pleasure.
Super, super nice. I'm not trying to be rude, but I can see my phone is about ready to die, and I don't want to just disappear, into outer space. But no, thank you, Jason, always. It was super nice meeting you. I kid you not. Today is the day, so wish me luck. I might not stand up straight for a while because my lower back, I think I need some acupuncture or something going on. But no, this was very fun for first thing in the morning over some coffee. And it's always great meeting new people. And yeah, Shed Wars, like what an amazing community Shed Wars is. So
it really
I
is.
personally just want to say thank you for having me up here and letting me yammer for a little bit. And yeah. But I hope you all have a wonderful Saturday or whatever. If you're nighttime, getting ready to go to bed, or if you're getting up like us over here, it's going to be a long day today. I have to charge my phone. I have to rip my phone, and I still have to record my video. So,
oh joy,
super duper nice. Jandera, I already subscribed to you. I have you.
Yep.
And yes, I can't even see right now. Hold on, let me throw on my glasses. That fine print kind of gets to you after a little bit. Yeah, Citizen Guardian. I keep saying it wrong. It was very, very nice meeting you. Super great talking to you. Hopefully I'll see you around on this YouTube community. And
yeah, if you're around Jandera, you'll run into me soon.
Okay, well, if I see lives, I'll be on there. Jason Avers, as usual. Stay tuned for my video, folks.
Yay!
And Jason, I will see you Sunday night at 8 Eastern.
Stay safe and have a lovely weekend, and I hope that you recover quickly as well.
Have a lovely weekend. God bless. Stay safe and healthy. Mwah. Thank you for having me. Bye, everyone.
Bless you. See ya.
Well, you can see that sun coming in through the window over there. It's turning into morning.
It is turning into morning there, isn't it?
Yeah.
The sun is shining.
There we go. Yep. I've got to get out there and visit the municipal site here in a little bit and get another truckload of mulch. We're kind of fortunate. The city that I live next to, technically we're kind of like on the very outskirts of the city of Tulsa, but the city maintains a green waste facility that has a tub grinder, one of those really big ones that you use a crane to load. So all the tree trimmers and everybody else brings everything there, and they mulch it. And then if you live in the area, you can come in there and pick up however much mulch you want for free. So now that time of year that I get to go and pick up a load every week until winter arrives, and then I'll leave a load in the bed of the truck throughout the winter to put some weight on the back. So I finally unloaded my winter's worth of mulch yesterday, so it's time to go get more.
Mulch and more mulch. You can't have enough organic matter, can you?
Well, technically, for the most part, yeah, that's true. It is possible to have more than you need, but you have to really work at it.
You got to really work at that one.
Yeah.
Mind you, I have a massive pile of wood chips, and I just haven't had the time or the ability to get it out into the garden. But I mean, it's still decomposing where it is, so it's certainly not a tragic thing.
No, I mean, I prefer them aged anyway.
Yeah.
Whenever I go out there, I'll ask whoever's working the front end loader, what's the oldest pile you've got, and just give me off the oldest pile.
No, because then you've already had so much decomposition within the wood as well, like within the bark that you've got. So you're halfway there. So I mean, it does save a bit of time as well.
Oh, it can do. Yeah. Absolutely.
I
mean, it depends on how much rain you get.
I want it for weed suppression. I want it to retain moisture, but I also want it to break down and enrich the soil while it's doing that. So I may as well get the stuff that's most of the way there.
Yeah. No, it's quite strange. So we put a large amount of leaves, I think it was about 2 years ago, we put a large amount of leaves into just so that we could make mulch as well. We put, well, not really as much make the mulch, but turn it into compost over time. And we had it in a large bath at the back of the property. And when we had it in the large bath, just over time, what happened was like I basically forgot about it, to be honest. And it was about a year and a half afterwards, and I went back in there, and the leaves had actually turned into soil completely. Like the actual it had just over a year and a half decomposed into like a soil type of format as well. So then I used some of that in the garden, and the plants have really been loving it. Like I just put it into my triple mix and compost and that type of thing, and it's really doing quite well.
Well, the leaves that fall from trees have all of the minerals that those trees have extracted from deep below the soil with their roots. They extracted all those minerals out of the subsoil that weren't on the surface, and that wound up in the leaves. When the leaves fall, the way the process is supposed to work is now they decompose, and that makes those minerals available in that top couple of inches of soil for everything else. But if you're gathering the leaves and you're composting them like that, then you have all of that benefit. Leaf mold is awesome stuff, and just leaving it in place is a great way to do it. Saves the back. You can get out there and turn it, but that'll speed things along. But it's a lot of work, and I would rather just
that's what chickens are for.
Stack it up.
You get chickens to turn the leaves.
Yeah, well, yeah. If you have chickens, I'd rather just stack it up, keep it moist, and then come back in a year or two and deal with it then, and not break my.
It worked quite well, and obviously just sometimes covering it. Having like a nice cover over it sometimes can also be quite beneficial. But I don't know, do you propose actually covering it or leaving it open to aerate all the time?
Well, depends upon why you need to cover it. If you're trying to keep it from getting too wet, perhaps maybe you would want to cover it. Because you want it moist, but not to the point where you're flushing the goodies out of it. You can actually leach your nutrients out of your compost if it's constantly being rained on.
Yeah.
So that's the reason why you might want to cover it. It just really depends.
It
depends on your environment, doesn't it?
In the winter to maybe help trap some of the heat might be good.
Yeah. The thing is, there's a river that's like right by us, and for the most part, we very seldomly get like proper rain over here. But it's strange because the city that's located right next to us gets plenty of rain all the time. So they get like a lot of rain, but it actually stops at the river. It's a very strange phenomenon, the way that it works. But I think it's because of just heat. A lot of the time because of heat and condensation. And when it does,
the river is carrying heat this way, or whatever the river is flowing, and that drags the air mass along with it whenever the air comes to it. That's why it doesn't, cross the river.
Yeah. And it's pretty heavy for us because what ends up happening from that, and that's actually makes a lot of sense, and it's good to know that. Thank you. That's why I enjoy your content so much. So basically, what happens is right here, like the sun just beats down really hard on the soil that we've got here. So Breaker Leg was saying earlier that some of the soil is quite like hard and it's quite dense like that. And some of that soil is similar to the soil that we've got here, where it really just becomes like a clay. And I've got to like till the soil an immense amount, and then put like proper soil in as well. So even after time, even though my bottom layer and mid layer of soil is actually like still so like rock hard, I've had to really change that and put like much better soil in. And then it still ends up being that the top layer becomes like that same type of soil because of the sun beating down on it. So I've had to really put like a lot of like a decent amounts of netting as well, netting just to make sure that the sun doesn't get through the way that it usually would without the netting being there. And it's just it's really been quite a challenge because of the soil. But it's interesting to listen to what you guys are talking about as well when it comes to learning, and just the way that you speak about soil and like learning, because it starts with soil essentially, right? Like with all the gardening, it really does. Soil is so very important, and I understand that more and more as I become like more experienced with the gardening as well. And it's just it's really been nice to just look at the changes and see how nice I've been able to like modify like the garden from what it was, all the hard soil, and just put in like a lot of lush soil, a lot of triple mix, a lot of compost, and it's becoming great. And now all of a sudden, because I've got the shading over it and the mulch on top, the soil underneath is staying the way that it is. So I don't know. I know I'm rambling about soil, but it's just been a really nice experience for me.
You can talk about soil for hours and hours at a time. It's okay.
Soil is life. That is where the life is. It's in the soil.
I know. I have a limit on my knowledge. I think that you'd be able to actually talk about it for hours and hours. I think that my knowledge, maybe about 20 minutes, 30 minutes, and then I start like maybe repeating the same knowledge.
Well, they say you have to hear something at least 3 times before it sticks.
Yeah.
If
Maybe my repetition thing is a good thing at times.
Yeah, it's not necessarily a bad thing. So I had
Mother of learning.
talking about shading your soil, and you're using shade cloth netting to
Yes.
shade, I can't talk.
Yeah.
Shade the soil. What kind of trees do you have?
Well, I did implement the one tree that was growing in the garden, the Hugelkultur tree that was growing. It's quite a large tree, quite broad leaves as well. So it was causing a little bit of a problem in the garden with the rooting in the walls, the foundations. So I had to trim it back quite a bit on that side. And I've still got the tree growing, but I'm using the tree as a shade now as well, in conjunction with the shade cloth. So it's going really well with that.
That was where I was getting at. If you have the ability to plant trees and space them appropriately, then the shade that those trees produce spread out. You have tree here. This one's going to provide just enough shade to protect the soil during a certain part of the day. This one here will take over, and then you march across. You don't want the trees so close together that no light gets down to the bottom. But if you spread them out, I mean, take a look at a savanna. If you can get out and look at the savannas and see how the trees are there. In some places, they're a lot more open than they could be. And that's what elephants actually do in the savannas. They're pushing trees over so there's enough light to get down to the ground, but enough tree that you keep the ground shaded and protected for a certain portion of the day. You can have your trees do the job of the netting if you have enough space to establish that kind of system.
Yeah, there is, but the truth is, because of the way that, even because of the intensity of the sun, and I think it is slightly magnified by the river, by the moisture coming up from the river. So I think that it is magnified slightly as well. So because of it being so hot, I really need to make sure that there's enough coverage via the trees that it would stay the way that it is. But fortunately, the garden section that is there is also shaded by the house. So the house, the shading, and then the tree, and the shading the way that it is working out pretty well. Like it's doing its job at the moment.
Good. I was actually thinking about whenever I get these wintergreens out there that I might need to put up some shade cloth for them, because they're not really a zone 7 plant. They're more of a zone 6 plant, and we're a little bit further south than they usually grow. I figure once we have our shade going pretty well, they'll be able to handle it.
Do you like the feeling of being underneath shade cloth? Because I know it sounds very strange, but I actually really enjoy that like type of temperate climate that it creates. And then it's still got like there isn't an intensity of the light coming through. So it's just a very nice scenic type of, I know it sounds strange as hell, but I really enjoy just being underneath the shade cloth and relaxing.
I hate it. I think it looks tacky. It's horrible, but it's necessary sometimes. You know?
It takes time to build that canopy layer, doesn't it?
Right.
You can't just have a canopy layer overnight.
Exactly.
Under the shade of an actual tree, but you know, sometimes you've got to do what you got to do to get to that point.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it comes from also enjoying nurseries. If you go in like a lot of nurseries, they put like an immense amount of shade cloth over the top here. Our local nurseries, and then when I'm in the nursery since like a young kid, like I always enjoyed being in nurseries because you have so many plants around you, and you have so much like just life that's emanating from one little like store basically. So like
nursery is so much better.
Yeah, I get that.
Just breathe in and go, oh wow, I'm getting oxygen. This is great.
Yep.
Yeah, I know, it's especially if you live in a built-up area. Unfortunately, I've stayed a lot of the time on like more, urban type of surroundings and more like a rural, regional farming type environments as well. So that's been great. But if you do stay like in a built-up area, that's where those greenhouses and that type of thing are so nice, just to like get some real air every now and again.
I was looking at.
I really love being around my aquaponics because you've got the water as well as all the plants. And you've got that sound of the running water, but there's also that extra water in the environment as well. It's just a very relaxing environment.
Yeah, it creates like a mist, almost like a mist type effect. I can imagine.
A little bit. There's not quite as much as there's not as much as you'd get around a waterfall, but you've still got that water movement, and water movement just. There's an energy about it that just makes it feel really nice.
Yeah, even with fish tanks, even something that's as simple as a fish tank, like we were speaking about fish keeping earlier, and just like sitting next to the fish tank, or if you find yourself like underneath stress, to just go and like sit next to like a fish tank and just watch the fish for a while, and just the sound of the filter as well, just it's very, very soothing. It's really nice.
I haven't had an aquarium in a few years. Oh, used to love having them around, but they do take some work.
Chris, I'm really glad you enjoyed my garden tour. The garden is definitely growing a lot at the moment. We've had an excessive amount of rain that has been fantastic, considering the area has been in drought for nearly 4 years. And for now, the rain to just have, I think we got over probably 200 mils in 2 weeks. And it has just made a massive difference to the property. Everything has just grown so much. I mean, you can probably look at the February garden tour as opposed to the March garden tour and just see how much everything has just grown amazingly. Love the rain. It's been wonderful.
It is. It's a blessing.
Just short of 8 inches for the people that are wondering what the conversion rate is.
Yeah, I'm not real good at my conversions from millimeters to inches.
Quick research.
No, it's good to know the differences as well. It's definitely good to know.
It is. Yeah, I normally check on my phone, but I'm using my phone to do the video.
Yeah, even like putting in just the conversions for depending on who watches the video. Like if you are making like the video, just to put in a little bit of subtext or something like that with the quick conversion.
Right. It's easy to forget that sometimes, though. Whenever you're doing stuff, it's like, what if somebody from the Southern Hemisphere or somewhere that doesn't use the empirical system is watching this? Because we use the empirical system for the most part in America. We're like weirdos because we still use the empirical system. It's like we just never got around to taking up the habit of using the metric system. It's easy enough with temperatures because I have both of them on the. I have a clock up here with the thermometer and humidity gauge and barometer and stuff like that on it, and it has both metric and empirical measurements on it, so I can always look at that and see what the conversion rate is for temperature. But I have to imagine, okay, what is a millimeter? What does a decimeter look like in inches? And okay, it's about that much. Yeah,
I know it's. I think it's 2.5 centimeters to an inch, so it'd be 25 mil to an inch. I think I'm not very good at my conversion. I probably didn't pay that much attention in that section of math.
Well, I don't remember that because I know I can always just go look it up.
Yeah, that's the other side of it. It's not something that I pay a huge amount of attention to. Some things require attention. That's not one of them.
I'm going to have to go ahead and head on out because it's the day is getting on, and I've got to get my mulch load and get it back and get it onto the garden here. What am I working on today? I'm supposed to be shooting a video. Something to do with getting the mulch and putting the mulch on because I didn't show that during the tree planting video. It's very important to finish up and follow up on that.
Yeah, I definitely will be catching up with you soon, Jason. Thank you for stopping in today. And sorry that during the beginning of the stream, I asked you to step in, and then I stepped out for had my camera off for a little while, and it was a little bit rude. I do apologize on that behalf, and I'm also going to be stepping off here soon. But continue where you were. Sorry, Jason.
Right. Oh, Chris is going to ask a couple of questions. All right, I'll hang on a second.
Right, I'm going to just bounce off here because I just want to obviously spend a little bit of time extra with the family as always. And I'm going to say bye for now. And thank you so much for the stream. It's always good to see you. And I can't wait to learn more from you, Jason. It's the best thing about really just seeing what you've been doing.
Too, by the way.
Thanks for joining me, Citizens Gardener. It's lovely having you with us.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah, you get to the point where you know enough that you realize that there's so much that you don't know. That's whenever you start realizing you're starting to learn a thing or two. I've got to the point where I realize I don't know everything. And people keep on saying, you're an encyclopedia. No, I'm not. I don't know everything. I would like to, but it's just not possible. Okay, Chris is digging out beds for Hugelkultur, ash type beds, and don't have a bunch of green material. Tons of tree, but not green material. All right. Will I be okay? They'll take longer to break down than if you had greens to stack in there. They will break down eventually, but they'll take longer. And you'll probably have more fungi breaking your wood down than anything else. You probably would have more fungi breaking your wood down than anything else anyway, ultimately. So yeah, you can still build a Hugelkultur mound without having a lot of green material. It's just it's going to stay woody and that way for a bit longer, an extra year or two at least. Also, here in Colorado, the soil is actually pretty good. And one of the beds, like it broke up while digging it out. But the other one, tell us about the other one. Mike the Caveman says, green veggie scraps, chop and drop later on. It'll soak in. Yeah, you can always add more. Okay, it's really hard and you don't have a ton of compost or garden dirt to amend. Is it hard as in it's mostly clay? If you're up in Colorado, you're up in the mountains, that's parent rock, clay is being formed, silt, sand, but mostly clay. So probably clay, but go ahead and confirm that if you could. And if it is mostly clay, then the thing that you'll want to add to it if you don't have a lot of organic matter, and even if you do have a lot of organic matter, is pelletized gypsum or just crushed gypsum if you can get gypsum. Let's say more. You're trying to say more prairie. You're out east. More prairie. Okay. Gotcha. So what kind of hardness are we dealing with? Is it hard because of clay? Is it hard because you have a bunch of fine particles that are stacking together? Because sand and organic matter can get hard too.
Very much so. I actually have sandy loam soil here, and it is rock hard if it's dry.
Yeah, particles are so small that whenever they settle down and it gets dry, they get hard.
Yeah, I can't even get tread-in posts in if we haven't had rain.
Oh, Lord.
It's caused me a lot of problems this year, actually, not being able to get the tread-in posts in.
Yeah, a whole bunch of fine particles whenever they get dry. So a little bit of both. The ground is still kind of frozen. So, well, yeah, if it's still frozen,
wait for it to thaw.
Yeah, wait for it to thaw out a little bit, and then just grab it, give it a good squeeze, and see what it does. If it smushes, and you could mold it, then you've got clay. If it smushes and you can't mold it, then that's high organic matter, and you probably need to do something about having too much organic matter, which is not usually the problem. If you squeeze it and it forms a ball that crumbles apart, then you've got a pretty good mixture of both. But usually the problem with hard soils, unless of course you've got those specific problems with lots of fine particles, usually hard soil is clay, usually. But if it does turn out to be lots of clay, get your hands on some gypsum. You can buy it at the home and garden centers just about everywhere in the world as pelletized gypsum. It comes in little tiny pellets that crumble up pretty easily. You can actually take them between your fingers and break them up in between your fingers. But apply that over your existing clay, and as the gypsum breaks down, it'll interact with the silica hydrates in the clay and allow the silica hydrates to form smaller clumps, and smaller clumps take on that nice crumbly soil texture that you're ultimately looking for. Anyway, I've got to get some mulch and get this done.
Thank you for joining me, Jason. It's been great having you on.
Thank you.
It's been a real pleasure. And I probably need to call it a night too as well, guys. It is just after midnight here, nearly 12:30. And I really do need to get some sleep and get over this bug. It has been lovely to catch up with you all, and I really appreciate you all joining me on the live. It has been a lovely evening. And remember to go over and support some of the other channels that you've seen, where Mike the Caveman has fantastically put up all those links for us. It's been absolutely wonderful, and I'm really enjoying getting to know all of the Northern Hemisphere shed warriors. It's been really good. I haven't quite made it through all of the 100 yet, so I'm still going through the playlist and adding people to my subscribed peoples. But yeah, it's good. It has been fantastic to have Jason Avers on with us tonight, Citizen Guardian, Baker Leg. It's just been fantastic to have all of you here. And if you're new to the channel, welcome. Thank you for joining me. And Chris Clevercraft, I look forward to seeing more of you around the place, and look forward to hearing you chiming in the comment section. It's always nice to read those comments and see what people think, and know that they're appreciating the content that I create. So yeah. Thank you, Homestead Aquarius. I'd love to say that I'm going to have a fantastic night, but being that it's 12:30, I think I'll go with a good morning and have a good morning sleep. So it has been absolutely fantastic to have you all here, and I hope you all have a great morning and that your day goes really well. Voon, it was fantastic to have you here. Thank you so much for joining us. Always love seeing Voon on lives. Actually, I love seeing all of you guys on lives. I think I've seen you on everybody's lives. It's an honor to have you joining me. But I do need to get some sleep. So I hope you guys all enjoy the What is Aquaponics videos that I released earlier today. Well, yesterday, because it's now Sunday morning. So yeah, I look forward to hearing all your comments and seeing what you think, and I hope that it blesses you all. You have a great one. Bless you.